A very good afternoon to you wherever you're watching this round 4 NEAFL clash between the Sydney Swans and the GWS Giants. Round 4 of the NEAFL today, live from Blacktown International Sportspark. I'm Eddie Summerfield, joined in commentary today with Will Jackson. Good afternoon to you, Will. Perfect day for football here at Blacktown.
Fantastic afternoon, Eddie. Good to be here as well. Perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky. Nice cool weather. Should make for an absolute cracking afternoon.
Now, play about to get underway. Will be the Giants kicking to the right-hand side of your NEAFL TV. Swans to the left. There's been 3 changes to the Giants lineup. A couple of guys coming out of the Riverina this morning missed their flight. Ed Perryman, James Pope and Adam White all not playing. Jackson Moen, Dylan Addison and Scott Brown all coming in. Matt Buntine also out of the Giants side this afternoon, and the named emergency for the Swans, Ben Ronk, is not playing today, so they are as selected.
It should be really interesting as well. Derby Day, the Battle of the Bridge, however you want to call it. If you believe football's more emotional than mechanical, then strap yourself in for a cracker, because it should be a great afternoon of football.
The Giants are due for a win over the Swans. Haven't defeated them since round 1 of last season, and the Swans have won 8 of the past 9. Ball held aloft, play about to get underway in the final game of NEAFL's round 4. Here's Will Jackson to get things underway.
And we're underway here with a bounce, and it's immediately brought back. It's going to be a ball up. Nice and simple, that hard ground. Sun's doing its job, making it awfully bouncy up there. Up they go. Cameron comes in, knocks it down. Giants try and get the clearance. Picked up. McIntyre can't be grabbed. Shipley puts a nice little right foot spitter into the 50. Can they gather? Yes, they can. Going around the corner. Chance for a shot here. Smothered. Wonderful first effort there from the Swans defenders as it's taken out of bounds. Very fast flying start here, Ed.
Bit of push and shove going on out there as well, Will.
Always a bit of argy-bargy. There's always a bit of feeling in this game, isn't there? But that makes it all the more exciting as we wait for the ball to be lofted in. The two bigs doing battle once more. Up it goes, tapped down by the Swans. Looking for the faster clearance, but it's gone down on the ground ball on the far. Who can bring it up? The Giants have, but it won't get out of there in a hurry. So really good opportunity if they can get a fast clearance here, the Giants. Could they draw first blood?
Throw it up again. Cameron this time got to front position, won it down to his feet. Matt Flynn was good in his second effort. Jackson Haitley there as well for the Giants as it will be tossed up for the third time. Giants deep in attack early in this first quarter of this round 4 NEAFL clash as it will be thrown in once again. These two sides have already met this season, round 1, Will.
Round 1, I know at halftime in that game there was only a point the difference, and look, I think the AFL injection of a couple of players held them in the end, but as the ball goes on, we go back to our round 4 clash. It's spat out and socket along the ground. Gathered, no it's not, and back on the ball. Picked up sharply, O'Halloran sends a left foot snapper in towards goal. Can't be marked as they go again for another effort. Socket again, seems to be a lot of that at the moment. Frantic down by the boundary. Kicks up, but the ball has been brought back. It was out of bounds.
Good stuff there. I think it was Sam Weeks, the Swans defender, just getting a fist in there and stopping Kieran Briggs taking the mark for the Giants. Drafted last year, Briggs, former academy player for GWS, as it's tossed in again. Cameron again in front position is the NEAFL ruckman in the team of the year last year, but it's the Giants attacking again. Top of the goal square, Sproul the target, knocked to ground. Ian Hills there, couldn't quite get it, could Bobby, as the Swans just looked to chip it underneath and clear. Defensive 50, spilled free and taken high was McInerney, and he'll receive a free kick.
McInerney spent a bit of time playing for the Swans at AFL level a few weeks back. He puts a chipper in nicely to McKellar, who goes long with his right boot down boundary side. Neither marked, but crumbed nicely. Looks like Kilpatrick it is. Bell searching out of bounds. Little shove there from Keefe.
Giants players thought it may have been out on the full, but came off his thigh. So first chance really for the Swans here. We'll have a look how they structurally set up forward. Joel Amity's gone long to the goal square as it's tossed in. Cameron again winning this tap down. Going in and under was Wicks. He's tackled to ground. Could have been high. Umpire said no. O'Halloran tackling him.
Big game from Wicks last week. He was in their best. He had a very big impact on the scoreboard. So see how he goes today. Slapped over by Cameron. Picked up O'Halloran. Fast one. Cameron gets another gather before snapping around his right foot. Missed over the top there by Cumming. Oh, big little snapper in, but it won't get as far as Veerhouse is searching, but it has gone through. How the bounds are behind. That's how the bounds.
I think it just missed the behind post there as the padding comes loose. There's a thriller in the game prior to this as there's a bit of push and shove going on off the ball between Darcy Cameron and Zach Sproul. He kicked 5 goals last week for the Giants, been in top-notch form this season, early days. It's tossed in again. Amity caught behind. The Swans with numbers out the back. Handball came to McInerney. Flicked it backwards looking for Bell. Could have copped one high. Umpire called play on. And it will be thrown up about 40 metres out from the Swans' goal mouth. Been playing 5 minutes in this opening quarter. And you mentioned it before the game, Will. There is plenty of tension between these two Sydney sides.
Emotions are running very high as the ball's snapped forward for the Giants. They take it toward the boundary for a right foot kick down the line into space. So a little bit of a one-on-one contest here. Who's going to win it? The boundary will win out. Pink continues his run. Very hard contest. Yeah, a lot of feeling in this, a lot of shoving already. As it continues, some fresh legs coming on and off.
So neither side to trouble the scorers. Tossed in again. Cameron got to the front of it. Haitley couldn't find it. Pushed off the ball was Bonner. Bell comes in. Haitley ran with it forward. Cameron, the big fella, bent over, picked it up, looking for McInerney. Couldn't go with it. Well done there by Shipley, but boundary line beats him and it will be tossed in.
Such tight quarters here at the moment. No one can quite get it out cleanly. Perhaps you'll have to wait until everyone starts to tie before we see this game break open. For now, it's going to be a very hot physical contest on the ground. As we await. And Dawson Simpson's going to be doing battle here in the ruck. And up it flies, nice and high. We got a front on position, shouting for a free, didn't come. So it's knocked away nicely right towards the centre of the field there. Picked up, can he get it out? Buckley, yes he does. O'Halloran takes a run and puts onto his right boot. Far kick to the one-on-one. Sproul underneath it. Can't quite get there. Gathers, tackled, lost. O'Riordan, always a pretty safe pair here. Knocks it towards. Curse of the commentator, he's kicked the intercept straight to Buckley. That's Jack Buckley, the younger of the two Buckleys out there. Unrelated, but both pretty handy on the field.
The University of New South Wales, this Buckley. The other one, of course, playing for Carlton and the Northern Knights, I think it would have been in the old TAC Cup.
He starts his run in from 50, directly in front. Kicks very long, but it looks slightly offline to the right. It's through for a behind, but it is our first score of the day. Just not our first major.
Got a good look there. There is not a breath of wind there. Jack Buckley's kick went a mile high and straight. Didn't deviate as the Swans move the footy in. I'll just look to chip it around, work some possession as it comes back to O'Riordan. He's got McCallum in the other back pocket, but elects to go back to where it came as they cleared offensive 50, the Swans. This next kick, crucial. And the Giants have marked off pretty one-on-ones right up the ground. Now goes long to a contest on centre wing. Good mark taken there. And the Giants will have another chance to go forward. They'll switch it across half-back. Comes to Keefe. Keefe completes the switch out to Simpson. He's the captain this afternoon for the Giants. Put it over the top. Bit of a hit and hope. Running on to it is McInerney. He's playing his second NEAFL game today. Put it on his right boot. He's got some space there to work in front of. The Swans will now really push forward. It's Poor. He'll run to 50. Dish off the handball. Put his teammate under a bit of trouble. Sidestepping this way, that way, holding the ball.
There we go. So it's been turned over by way of Buckley. He's gone from one end of the field to the other. Goes for the switch. A little bit incomplete. Left-handed dinker. It's gone to ground and off they tussle. Don't see it coming out there as he's swarmed by the Swans' defence. He's starting to see a little bit more movement out there, which is pleasant for the viewers. Hopefully this lack of wind will mean plenty of goals today, but it's going to take a big effort from the midfields to get a clearance. The ball goes up. Amity's joined the ruck battle, and he'll look to pick up his own bit of tap work there. Push towards the boundary on the far side. Cleared out nicely on the left. It's gone towards two Swans players who unfortunately sabotage each other in the contest. For gathered again, knocked forward. Can't be taken cleanly. Yes, it has. It's with Sproul. Sproul manages to get it away. Further over on the far side towards the boundary. Who's there? Someone's bucking around like a bronco. Taken out nicely by the Giants as they do a lateral kick across to centre it. And there's another man out wide as they look for the spread here. It's with Cumming. He gets a little fist come across his face, but he's managed to gather it nicely. He turns and wheels, takes a bounce. He's galloping down as he puts a chipper in. Doesn't quite make its target. Kilpatrick applying pressure with Buckley. Coming, gets the ball back from just outside 50. Puts it onto his left-hand boot. So 2-on-1. Double Sports come behind. There's a shot goal here. Snapped on the right.
Touched off the boot.
Been touched. So really frantic pressure from the Swans. Both sides very up for it. The second efforts already are very, very visible.
That's probably the best ball movement we've seen this afternoon by the Giants. Just found a couple of clear possessions as the Swans bring it in again. This is Robbie Fox just dashing out of defence. Gets it to the wing position. 2-on-1. Good strong mark, Lockie Keefe. Turnover. Giants will look to come forward again. Simpson wanted it in the middle, goes longer, inside 50. Pink comes from behind, got a fist. Ball bouncing around at ground level. Even numbers both sides. Could have been one high there to the Giants, and it is. And the free kick will be taken by Wilson Mudge. So Mudge having a look inboard. The Swans have got back well, as you'd expect. Kicks it to the hot spot now. Good use of the body by Sproul. Went without it. And, well, it wasn't good use of the body in the end by Sproul. He's given away a free kick for a push in the back.
Looked good initially until the truth was revealed by the call of the umpire. So a lateral spread by way of the Swans. The ball was out with Reynolds, who puts a nice looking dagger up far side of the boundary. They're just going to chip it around nicely here. O'Riordan gets his hands on the ball before giving a right hand pass over the far side. Longer kick on the right into space. Veerhouse. Wonderful grab. He's got a few opportunities, but no one clearly open as he puts the shoulder to the man on the lead, and it's picked off by the Giants' defence.
So Isaac Cumming there. Right space, right time. Real strong overhead mark. He goes backwards to Dylan Addison. Late inclusion today, along with Scott Brown, and he's got 50 metres after Adam White and Ed Perryman both missed their flight out of Wagga today. I'm not sure of the circumstances, but I'm told they missed their flight.
Was it logistical or was it foul play?
So here come the Swans through midfield. There's been a turnover. Picking it up, there's Robbie Fox again. He's had plenty of it, coming off a best on last weekend. They work a string of handballs. Came out to Schumack. He goes to half forward, bouncing footy. Who wants it out there? They say just work it 1-2 on the right boot. Good looking kick and mark. No, spilled by Tyson as the kick comes across the face, and good mark going back with the flight. And the Swans will have the first real set shot of the afternoon. So real tight angle. And I think it's Johnny Paul.
Got a fair bit of the pill last week, Paul. So let's see if he can impact the scoreboard. Tough kick.
So plays on now, snapping it around his body. Easy as you like, Jacko. And there's the first major of this afternoon. Took 12 minutes, and the Swans have taken a 4-point lead. Real smart footy from Paul then, after taking a real courageous mark going back with the flight.
They're the kicks you practice for fun at training, and at least nice to see it pay off for him. The coach will be proud he converted. Lovely kick, really tight angle. Very nice bit of play, as you said very adequately there, Ed. It did open up. There's a bit more free-flowing passage there and allowed Paul to have a shot at goal.
Just both ways. Just started a bit of a... Players started not to get tired throughout the match, but just that first quarter attrition starting to wear in.
It was interesting the last time they met in round one. You saw half-time they were locked and Swans ran out the game, and that's where the game really turned on its head. So let's see how 3 more weeks of fitness has come in. As it's touchdown, Bonner got a little tap down before it snapped forward, but it's going to be intercepted comfortably by Sunilu. Handball over the top, can't be gathered. It is, but by the Giants. Picking over the top is Fox, really making his body felt there. That won't come out. Good attacking pressure applied. As we'll have a ball up. Very threatening position here for the Giants. If they can make something, if they can get a clean tap, they do get the tap, it's ineffective. Amity takes it. Shipley getting involved. Matt Flynn, the big man, slaps onto the right boot, but out in front is a mark not quite taken by O'Riordan. Gets tripped up by his own teammates, sadly, as the ball comes out. Bonner puts a pretty big snap from 50. Oh, he's right, and it's gone across to the right of the goal. That would have been special.
Lots of pressure out there for the Giants. Just unable to get that clean shot away at goal early days. So what can the Swans muster here? Giants have zoned off really well. And they'll go out in the direction of Amity. Good use of the body by Flynn. Ball came out the back. Giants with numbers again. Steals there, put it inside 50. Bouncing footy, good pick up, run up and go. Snap around the body. They've got the numbers here, Giants, if they can get it to ground level. It comes that way now. Sproul around on the right boot. That should be the first one for the day for the Giants, and it is.
Safe as houses, Sproul. 5 last week, already on the score sheet with a snap. Hopefully that's the start of a big afternoon for him. I think he's coming tied for 4th in the leading goal scorers for the league this year. So
that's his 11th major for the season after, as you say, 5 last week. He's just so dangerous at ground level, knows where the goals are.
He's also such a wonderful set shot taker as well. He's kicks very straight and true.
We're both saying in the lead up to this game, he just looks like he's put on a couple of kilos in muscle mass.
Positive
this
kilos.
Season, positive kilos. Just looking very strong and dangerous up forward so far this season.
See how it impacts with the one-on-one contest throughout the afternoon, Ed. See whether it's muscle or Christmas pudding.
So pinged into the turf again, and they'll elect to throw it up. Still plenty of push and shove going on at both ends of the grounds. Players back in their starting positions. Tossed up this time, out of midfield. Very good McInerney, inside 50 for the Swans. Bouncing ball at ground level. Fantastic pick up by Wicks. Goes short, beautiful kick. And the Swans will have another set shot at goal. So they just look for a short one. Yulton, and he goes short to McInerney. Really good run there. We saw him in the get the centre clearance. Continued to run forward, and he had a mountain of space and time in that forward pocket to take his first set shot today.
Started with McInerney in the middle. He got 3. This will be his 3rd disposal in the space of about a 15-second period of play. So if he can end his hard work.
So begins his approach. Played a bit at AFL level this season. This is his 2nd game in the NEAFL. Drop punt going to drift across the face. And the first minor score for the Swans this afternoon.
Just faded right at the end there. Looked like he was coming around, but no, it levelled out. So the kick out will come by way of the Giants. Going to have to kick to a contest. New rules allowing him to run. Nice set-up kick to Buckley. Hits him lace out. Wonderful. So Buckley will turn and look. He's got options down the boundary, but his eyes seem to be averted inwards. Up high it goes. Big Cameron underneath that. Ooh. Comes over top of Stoddard. Couldn't be taken. Big. Look at that. Immediately gets grabbed by 2 Giants players. A sandwich. Up it goes. Flynn can't win out. Picked up. Nice. McInerney. There he is again. Lovely inside 50 for him. Ball's being chased that little bit more. Yulton's picked up. Gathers. Bar of soap. And spills out of bounds. We'll have to have another ball in. The Swans finally with a little bit of spring in their step, Ed. They've stopped pushing and they've all started focusing on their football.
And just repeat inside 50 entries for the Swans. The Giants have had it down their forward line a lot so far, but haven't really been able to capitalise. As there's a chance here for the Swans again. Giants defence stands up though. Snap kick out of the pack came the way of Mudge. Wraps up Cameron in a tackle and it will be thrown up again.
Well done from Briggs there to hold on to Cameron. I can imagine that's no easy feat. Briggs was working as a Coles checkout chick, self-confessed, till getting drafted recently. So he's had a pretty good outing last weekend. Sproul gets on. Look at that dancing feet. Knocked down the tackle. Bonner will chase. Gathers. Hand pass out though. Halloran. Slippery ball. Tries again. One out by the Swans. Knocked hard in the contest as it's dribbled out by Soccer. Oh, picked up nicely. Callum Brown. But off it goes through the Swans. Gathered again. Can they turn around? Stoddard. Pretty quick and nimble as he does right there. Chucks it onto his right to Cameron. That'll be an easy mark. You won't beat him in the air back with the flight. Cameron turns.
Quick, nimble and smart there from Stoddard at half-back. As Cameron looks forward of field. Drop punt on the way. Amity the target. Keefe got to front spot. Flying fist came as the ball goes towards Bell on the boundary. And the boundary wins out after a good bump from Xavier Halloran for the Giants.
Bell and O'Halloran very, very there in the contest. Every time you see the ball go ground, it's those two around it, slapping it in. So as we wait up with the fly, it goes. Big men jump. One down by Cameron. Well done. Bonner puts his head over. Can't be one. That'll be another big man who puts a little hit in, but that'll come down, won't come out. Dawson Simpson making his large frame felt over the top of O'Riordan. Go to the sky again. There's a throw in position. It's one out O'Halloran. There he is again. There he is once more. Can he get it for a third time? Yes, he does. Whether he can get it out is a different story. He's thrashing, but it's not going to come. We'll see another ball up, Ed.
It's like a bull there, just wanting to get free. Swans in their attacking half, but the Giants just looking to get it out. Here comes Colin O'Riordan. Could have copped one in the back. Umpire let it go. Ball came inside 50. Ball's shuffled out from Olsen. The Giants look to clear it again. Stoddard there, ricocheted off his leg. Now tries to keep it forward. Bell with a flying right arm. Umpire blindsided, and it will be tossed up.
So there's less push and shove, but it's just as ferocious out there in the actual contest. High it flies. One down. Will it come out? Looks like it's going to be constrained again. Really hard to get this ball out. A lot of bodies. A lot of very eager midfielders in there.
Just tough one-on-ones everywhere you look at the moment. As I think Cameron won that one down. Stoddard wrapped high, or Fox was it? It's Robbie Fox, so 55 out. He'll look to dish it off at this distance. Goes long now. Why would you dish it off when you got a boot like that? Beautiful goal there, Robbie Fox. 55 out. The drop punt didn't move after it hit the boot.
He didn't look confident at first, did he? But he just wheeled around and launched it over the top of the goal umpire's hat. 2 goals, 1 leads Sydney over the Giants. 1 goal, 3. 13-9.
Just persistence there from the Swans, Will. Just keep locking it inside their forward 50. The Giants just couldn't quite clear half back, and eventually a free kick and short kick coming the way of Fox, and beautiful kick and goal.
So out through the centre. They'll look for a fast clearance here with the new rules coming in, the 6-6-6. Hopefully they'll give the space that each team's looking for. Perhaps one will be on the positive end. Bounce goes up. There's a dominant position there through the Giants. Bonner comes in. Always so effective. He's wrapped up. Usually so slippery in tackles. Couldn't get out of that one. So Dawson Simpson will have another job to do on Cameron. So there it goes. It's an even contest. Slapped down by Simpson. Very nice. Safe chest mark from Hill, who puts it forward on the right boot. Can he find a target? Yes, he does. And that looks like Zach Sproul.
He's just shaking his
finger.
Right wrist. He's got caught up in the marking contest.
He looks to be in a little bit of pain.
He'll just Taylor Swift it, shake it off, and he'll be fine.
She's released a new song, Ed. Apparently it's already at #1, I heard on the radio over here. Fun fact for your afternoon.
So Sproul kicked the first one for the Giants this afternoon, coming off a bag of 5 last week.
So Sproul begins his walk. His wrist has stopped shaking. Staying true, typically a good set shot. The kick's on its way. It looks really good from here, and he likes it immediately. Again, off the ground, he can snap on the set. He's kicked straight and true. 2 goals for that man as he continues his charge for the most goals throughout the season.
It's just a danger up forward, isn't he? When we saw it, his first goal was at ground level with just a ball that spilled into some space off hands, and then that one, mark, set shot. Beautiful kick, real weapon up forward for the Giants this year. I'm
starting to think that weight might be muscle and not the pudding, Ed.
Coming off a good win last week against the Gold Coast Suns, the Giants, 38-point win. The Swans also, they're undefeated this year, in fact, after a 7-point win over Redland. Absolute thriller. Sitting 3rd on the table, the Swans. The Giants with a 1-2 record, sitting 7th coming into this afternoon's clash as it's tossed up again. Cameron got hands to it first. Fox could have been held. Umpire let it go. Ball flicked out wide. Giants with numbers here. Steele got a kick to half forward. Foot race is on. Stoddard there. Overran it. Here's Sproul again. Great use of the body. Kept it underneath him. Pack of players come. And it will be tossed up. Giants half forward. 23.5 gone in this first quarter.
Bill Bases has made his way onto the field. See if he can have his impact felt. 1 down. Tapped on. Turns around, wheels. That was Bell, who sent a long right-footed kick towards the boundary into the contest. Gathered by the Giants, but wrapped up immediately. Once it spills out, there's just a brand new one. So hard to get it out cleanly. Umpire with further work to do. Down the far side. In come the big man, drops to ground. They did such a good job on each other. Slapped out Swan's right foot, looking for that inside 50, the persistence that you mentioned there, but it's intercept. Callum Brown.
It might be Iden.
And it is 39.
Connor Iden from Drysdale in Victoria. He's played all 3 games in the NEAFL this year for the Giants. He goes long, big fly. Ball spilled free. Giants with numbers front and centre. They can run it here. Jackson Haitley could have taken a bounce. Goes short to half forward instead. And a mark's cut off by Barkley. So he'll transfer play to Stoddart. He'll stop prop and then go through midfield. Bell was waiting. He looks out wide. He's got Kilpatrick there, but elects to go away from the broadcast side. And the Swans will chip it out of defence through O'Riordan. Handball over the top. Here's Fox. He could run and take a bounce. Instead draws the player. Handball to half forward. Put it. He's made under pressure. Kept coming, did Fox. String of handballs out wide. They're lining up the Swans, in fact. Comes out wide. 45 out. Top of the goal square. And it's cut off. Good mark taken there by Jake Stein.
Shane Wicks did so well to put that ball in, but just got cut off last minute. Stein got his hands a fair bit on it last week. Very active down back as he sends it out of the 50. And the clearance, what a mark over the top. And that's what you come here to watch. Toby Pink decides to bomb it right back the other way. Towards the top of the goal square. Who can get into it? Not another Pink-esque mark, but turned around on the snap. That'll be a goal to Sam Wicks. One of the best last week. Puts a snap around his body to extend their lead even further. Lovely bit of play. We got a great mark, followed off by a nice kick across the body to finish it off.
It's where the Swans are so dangerous going inside 50. Off hands, they had 3 or 4 players waiting front and centre, and Wicks, the lucky man on this occasion, to turn around and snap a pretty simple goal, really.
Pretty simple, but always hard to do when the pressure's on. But gee, did he wheel out that pack nicely.
So it's been goal for goal so far. The Swans lead this one by 4 points. Can the Giants find an answer? 26 and a half gone by the time the ruckman touched the ball from this ball up. Tossed up. Amity won that one down. Beautiful tap, but Dawson Simpson was there. Kick came out. Tapped, just ushered forward for the Giants. Handball out wide was fantastic. Here's Hill from 45. Drop punt on the way to the left. Chance begging there for the Giants.
How about the hand pass to Hill, though? Snuck that out.
He's goal aware as well. Kicked 2 beauties last week against the Suns.
He was in great form last week. So in the hands of... looks to be O'Riordan, far away from the commentary side. Sends it down the right foot towards that boundary. Bit of a contest here. Man getting out in front was Cummings, but couldn't quite pick it up. Has been crumbed. Bonner looking to put some tackling pressure on. Swans trying to rip the ball out. No one can get it cleanly.
Xavier O'Halloran again there, Will. He just at the bottom of the pack. Ball of muscle. It's tossed up again. Gee, Simpson, big fist forward. Bell tackled. Could be holding the footy and is. Had prior opportunity with a bit of a sidestep. Elected to take the tackler on. And the Giants will have a chance to go forward through Addison. Late inclusion this afternoon. Quick kick's good. The Giants player keeps his feet. Comes out wide. Snap around the body by Jack Buckley to the pocket. And it will be cut off by Stoddart. Deep in defence for Sydney.
So Stoddart on the ball. Usually a pretty nice kick of the football. Onto his left. Outside 50 it's gone. No one can take the mark. Wicks tried to get a hand on it. Couldn't quite come down. Wrapped up in the tackle. Oh, wow.
That would be James Pope. We thought he missed the plane out of Wagga, but we got told that he actually didn't, and he is here playing this afternoon.
There's the Charter one. Slapped down into space, but not to advantage. O'Halloran, there he is again. Chucks it forward. Further onto the right boot. Sells a bit of candy, does Cummings, but kicks across the face towards the top of the 50. Here's a foot race, but it looks like it's going to be one out. It's overran. Sproul still on the hunt for his 3rd goal. Not gathered. Swans over the top. Taking a chase now is Barkley, he's wrapped up in that tackle, but wheeled away and pulled through the middle. The Swans using their hands. Ball's out with James Bell, who slams onto his right boot over the top. But there is a couple of players lurking, but the first one he's going to get there is Iden. Puts the hand pass, regathers it, but it had gone out of bounds.
Real smart play there. Had Cooper Kilpatrick, the Swans forward. He just pushed forward, ran straight to the goal square when he realised the footy was coming that way to create some space. But the Giants defenders, hats off to them, managed to create a stoppage so they could set up. Just about 29 minutes gone in this opening quarter. Tight game we've got on our hands. Swans in attack. Can they find one last one before quarter time? Bubbling away out of defence. Giants pressure outstanding. Good tackle late on Bell, but I think it may have been too high and is. Sorry, that'd be Robbie Fox at the bottom of that pack. Who else?
It's either going to be Fox or O'Halloran. One of the two.
So Fox after the siren. Now we saw him will have a set shot from a similar angle just on the broadcast side of the ground earlier this quarter. Just mirrored on the other side. Starts his approach. It's a beautiful kick of the footy. There's no wind to speak of here at Blacktown. Comes in, kicks it into the man of the mark. Give him a wrap. And it will be a 3-point quarter-time lead to the Sydney Swans as a bit of push and shove develops between these two rivals in the Sydney derby ahead of tonight's big game in the AFL at the SCG. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. It is the Sydney Swans leading the Giants 3-1-19 to 2-4-16. Zach Sproul with the 2 goals for the Giants, and for the Swans, Robbie Fox, Johnny Poor, the goal kickers there. We'll take a short break from Blacktown and be back with the second quarter right here on NEAFL TV. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. Beautiful day here in Sydney. The Swans leading this one at quarter time by 3 points. 3-1 plays 2-4. A couple of key possession winners before the start of this second quarter. Robbie Fox outstanding. He's had 10 touches. Colin O'Riordan, he's had 8. And for the Giants, Sproul and O'Halloran, Jack Buckley and Isaac Cumming, all 7 apiece. Been a real exciting, tough first quarter of footy. Looking forward to see how this one unfolds. We saw the Swans run away with it after half-time when these two sides met earlier this month. Can the Giants hold on today? I'm meeting Summerfield with Will Jackson in commentary for this round 4 clash. And just waiting for time to tick over to the right time and for us to give the umpire the all clear as he holds the ball aloft. Here's Will Jackson to get the second quarter underway here on NEAFL TV.
Back into this physical ruck contest comes Dawson Simpson and Darcy Cameron. One down by Cameron, can be picked up by Wicks. Over it goes past him. McInerney, nice pick up before a cheeky little handball over the top to Bell. Bell sends the same type of ball over to a player on the spark. Darcy Cameron sends a long ball in towards... Oh, it's punched away nicely. Can he pick it up and do something with it? It's cleared. Stopped by foot. Wicks tries to make his presence felt. Can't be done. Far side it goes. Giants with a couple of numbers. Sends it to a 2-on-1. They were never going to win out there. As he goes more laterally here to McInerney. McInerney turns. He's got Stoddard out in the far, but they're looking like they want to go forward here. And chipping slightly forward to Pink. Pink, ball in hand. He'll go laterally. Reynolds, Harry Reynolds. Long handball over the top towards the boundary, just inside 50. Stoddard sends a ball to Amity. Wonderful mark at the top of the goal square. Joel Amity. Using that big frame, front position, you were never going to stop him there, Ed.
Tell you what, if you're a key forward and you had Riley Stoddard kicking to you like that, you'd be happy with that all day. Top of the goal square, Amity a foot taller than everyone else. Easy as you like. Big clunker mark for a big forward.
As he starts his run, straight forward, set shot, and he makes no mistake with that. Hardly celebrates, humble man, but he gets himself on the score sheet, and the Bloods draw first blood, Ed.
Extend their lead, back-to-back goals for the first time today, Will, as well. So, out to 9 points.
Very nice start to the quarter, though. A lot of kicks to uncontested marks there to set that one up, which is always nice to see. Bit more free-flowing. It has been a very physical contest, so it'll be interesting to see how that war of attrition goes on.
Well, big Dawson Simpson in the middle. He's been fantastic, leading the Giants today. He's had 4 tackles, so doing it in the air and also at ground level. Do the Giants have the answer here? Not to let it blow out. So the Swans in the middle. It's a bit icky and messy there, but eventually a handball, well, it didn't come out to Haitley as I was anticipating, and it will be tossed up again.
I was going to say, you'd have to feel bad for the 4 guys that Simpson's tackled, wouldn't you?
It's driven into next week. As the ball comes out free, that's poor, but it was a poor kick and turned over. Here's Haitley from Central Districts. He kicks it up to half forward for the Giants. Beautiful kick and mark. This is Zach Langdon. Has a look forward. The Swans have got back well. Could have gone long, but he elects just the short kick. Gains 10 metres. Kick into the pocket. Bonner the target. Back with the flight. Couldn't quite mark. Umpire called played on. Spilled free. O'Riordan for the Swans. Big long clearing kick to half-back. 2-on-1 situation. Amity, great use of the body. Then fists it further afield. He's got a teammate waiting there in Veerhouse. Goes back with it. Outstanding. The Swans flowing through the middle of Blacktown International Sports Park. Ball at ground level as the Giants get players back. Good tackle there by the Irishman, but the Swans, they'll keep trying to press. Press they do, but it's the Giants out of defence. Langdon forward. Good kick. Good mark. Beautiful work by the Giants. And the mark has been taken there by Kieran Briggs.
The checkout chick. It's a pretty good kick. He kicked a couple last week. 2 in a row, I believe.
Just the second player from Sydney to be selected by the Giants through the draft. Last season, the ruckman, product of the Giants Academy.
Used to play for the West Pan Hills Demons, he did.
Took the words out of my mouth as Briggs comes in. Drop punt on the way. It will miss to the left. Will it sneak through for a behind just?
Apparently where Briggs lived, he was 1 kilometre away from being selected by the Swans, but he snuck in and qualified for the Giants, and they snapped him up. So Swans will try and fight their way out of trouble here. Little kick straight down the middle to Stoddard. So he receives a good kick after dishing one off. Sends it onto his left boot right to the middle of the field. Under it, uncontested, was McInerney. As Bell is screaming forward, trying to get ahead of Shipley. Has he gotten ahead of it? Amity's there instead. Hits him on the chest. Doesn't quite go. Off the socker. Oh, must have just hit that post.
Just grazed the Velcro that wraps around the post, attaching at the protection.
Lionel Messi, eat your heart out. That could have been special. Instead, the Giants will have to pick their way out. Rolls reversed as straight down the middle. Up they go. Ooh. Hits him on the chest. Can't be grabbed. Bonner, as he always does, comes away with it. But it hits the ground. A few people flapping around like a salmon out of water, but the ball's going to stay in for a ball up.
So right in the corridor, it's a 9-point lead the way of the Swans in this second quarter. Bonner there, not going anywhere. Fierce rivals, these two clubs. Tossed up at half forward for the Swans. They've kicked the last two, but it's the Giants away here. Shipley bouncing footy. Flynn ripped off it. Umpire let it go. Pink, well done. Still going. The ball did a 360 around that Swan's head, and the umpire let it go again as it came out the back to Stoddard. Flicked it over the top. He's got players running through and streaming on the wing as they work it to half forward. Good footy there by Sydney. Next kick crucial. Amity one out against Keefe. Goes that direction now. Cumming came from the side. Got a fist in there. Ball came to ground level. Second effort was good from Cumming. Well done to what was Iden for the Giants. Came out towards the boundary line. Jack Buckley there too. The Swans, though, work it back towards the hotspot, but the footy was out of play and it will be tossed up.
Ball a little bit fumbly there around the boundary side. But a good chance here for the Giants if they can hit back. Go back to the shootout we were experiencing before. Up it goes, lofted. Is he being held? Simpson gets the tap down for a uncontested clearance. Very big contest it lands in. Swans cleared up. Nearly a 360. Pink throws it down to the right boot towards the top of the goal square. That won't be marked. In fact, it's punched away. McInerney gives a little hand pass off. Smothered. Kilpatrick will have a second go at it. Decides to pull it out towards the pocket for an uncontested mark. At the pocket. Not the most straightforward kick for Thomas Tyson. We'll see how he backs himself. Check side or drop punt.
First game in the NEAFL for Thomas Tyson.
He lines in here. Looks to be a little left footer, so it's on his right side. That's a good looking kick, and that's through. That is through. First goal, a tough one. A tough first kick at goal on your first game in NEAFL level, but boy did he make the most of it.
That's a sensational kick, wasn't it? Left boot, as you called there, Jacko, and brought it back right to left. Beautiful stuff. The Swans have opened up a bit of a buffer.
Got to be careful here, the Giants. They're in danger of having this blowout similar to the round one encounter. So for the viewers' sake, they decide to claw it back. But for the Swans' sake, they want to keep this momentum rolling. Keep kicking it to young Tyson from the pocket.
Every day of the week from there with a kicking style like that. So what can the Giants do a bit differently here? It's been all Swans footy for the first 8 minutes of this quarter. As players get back to their starting positions. Umpire Joey O'Brien arches the back and puts it into the turf beautifully. Cameron won this one down. Bonner there, silky smooth. Can run through the middle, instead dishes off the handball. He's got a running player out wide. Wanted to go back to Bonner, didn't. Inside 50, Sprout the target. Got pushed underneath it. Ball spilled out the back. Dribbler kick there as it bounces towards goal off Mudge's boot. Smothered off Langdon's boot, and it's rushed through for a behind.
These second and third efforts you're seeing from both sides have just been extraordinary. They're both up for the contest. Spills out of 50. Gathered. Looks to be McInerney. Can he get something clean on it? Kilpatrick down the ground. Will that come out? Fighting out. That will not come out.
Good pressure there from the Giants. The Swans were quick to set up and quick to try and get that clear and kick outside a defensive 50. But the Giants forwards back into position quickly. And they'll get another chance here as Dawson Simpson won that one down, but the Swans just look to clear it from defence. They want deliberate. Umpire says no way.
Nice professional rolling off the finger there. Very handy. Swans would love to get their hands on this, clear the danger. So sent up to the ruck battle. And this has been a pretty good ruck battle, pretty even contest from the looks of things. Tap down and turn around immediately, cleared away. Will it be out of bounds on the full? Appears to be so.
Just about 6, Will. Almost over the fence. So in front of the scoreboard here at Blacktown, it reads 5-2 to 2-6. Inaccurate Giants trailing as it comes across the face. 14-point lead for those playing along at home to the Swans. And they've got numbers out in this broadcast side. Could go out wide to Pink. He elects to go a bit longer than that, and why wouldn't you? Lovely kick up and mark. It came off the chest of Schumack. Short kick, fisted away there. Smart play by Kilpatrick. Got the handball off to the running McInerney, who dashes through. Banana around the body. Don't know what he was thinking. Out on the full, and the Giants will have a chance to come out of defence.
Shame about that finishing kick, because McInerney's had a hell of a quarter so far. He's been very involved. He's setting up, following up his own work. But instead, it's going to be Keefe to send it long, whether he decides to go towards the broadcast side. McInerney, speak of the devil, there he is.
It's had 8 touches this afternoon. This will be, I think, number 9 or 10.
So McInerney looks, there's a few running towards that pocket. Decides to go straight through the middle. Can't be marked. Kilpatrick couldn't get a hand on it. Snapped away frantically by Hill. Bounces over the top of Pink, and it'll be gathered by Stewart. Reynolds, apologies, Harry Reynolds onto the right boot towards the 50. That is a wonderful kick over the top as it's continued to charge. Tyson, and he manages to find someone, turns around over the shoulder on the right boot, but not even through for a behind. Instead, he's crunched in a tackle out of the boundary for a throw-in.
Great pressure there from the Giants defence. Connor Iden, he's good young player drafted into the club this season. He's really standing up this quarter and done really well back there.
Didn't wait for it to go through the behind either. He followed it up.
So tossed in, Swans in attack. Really good stuff by Robbie Fox. Just trying to steer through the Cumming tackle, and Cumming flinged him to ground, and Fox will have another set shot deep in the pocket.
If only they give it to Tyson, the left footer.
I was about to say, surely Tyson's just giving a bit of advice on how to kick this one. It was a beautiful set shot goal before.
The first gamer passing down some wisdom.
So Robbie Fox kicked a beauty in the first quarter, then kicked one into the man on the mark on the siren. Comes in to extend this Swans lead to 20 points. Right foot drop punt across the face. Squeezes in for a behind.
Couldn't quite. Backed himself with the drop punt. Iden puts a nice chipper in for Cumming. So it doesn't look to be a lot of free options here. A lot of players from both sides down this end of the ground, creating huge headaches for the Giants. Up into the flight. Oh, he's come away with it. Tackled borderline without the ball, but they're going to keep running the charge through Shipley. Lovely left-handed in the middle. Hately over the top to Bonner. Doesn't quite get there. Shipley trying to get through it. Pass through. Big clearance inside 50 off the boot of Fox towards the contest. Can't be marked. Onto the ground. Picked up. Giants recovered nicely by way of... Oh, the ball's gone further now. Goes laterally. This will open up a bit of space. Nice looking kick from Addison. Before it's chipped in towards Hately. Gives a quick one off to Iden. Iden puts it forward on the bounce. Langdon. Langdon goes long. 1-on-1. Can't be taken. Boundary side. The chase is on.
Outstanding stuff there from Rory Barkley. He's playing the role on Zach Sproul this quarter.
Not a fun role either.
No, but Sproul just got a bit lost underneath the footy, and Barkley just held his ground well. He goes by the nickname of Charles as it's tossed in. Giants in attack. They really do need this next goal. Flynn grabbed it out of the ruck, couldn't quite get his kick away. Giants player blindsided as the ball spills out free. Fox was there, came back to Shipley for GWS, ducked a tackle, put it on his left boot. Flynn the target, back with the fight, good strong mark. And the big fella should go back and have a look from this distance.
With a big leg on him. 50 metres shouldn't trouble, but let's see how the accuracy fares for him.
From Narendra. as he'll go short. Poor checking from the Swans. Oh, and that could be a free kick for a push. And it is. Would have taken the mark if he wasn't infringed. And the distance a little bit easier, as will be the... just the distance we'll go with, and it's still an Addison. Late inclusion today. A couple of guys couldn't quite get out of Wagga Airport. So Addison comes in, right boot, drop punt on the way, across the face. One behind.
So Swans now having to do the digging, getting themselves out of trouble. Giants set themselves up nicely. Addison got a big bump for good measure, but couldn't convert. So kicked straight down the guts to Tyson. Tyson will turn around. Bit of clearance coming out. Hand pass, still inside 50 as he just jogs it out by Reynolds. Reynolds puts a stabbing kick forward. Can't be taken cleanly. Just can't dispose of it cleanly. Picked off the bounce. Looking for to be a bit more clinical there if they're going to really open up this Giants defence.
So we wait for the ruckman to come here. It'll be Flynn, and Amity for the Swans will go up. Flynn won this one down again, as you'd expect. He's got a couple of centimetres on Amity. Boundary line there too, so the big fellas will lock horns again. So ball, Swans attacking half of the ground. They lead this one by 14 points. Giants have had 9 scoring shots to 8. Plenty of opportunities, just haven't been able to get it close enough to goal to ensure it's a major, as the Swans again ushering it forward. Loose footy, smothered off the boot. Well done. And it will be tossed in half forward for Sydney.
Another 1%er in this game. There's been so many of them. We said before, both teams, it's a big rivalry. They both want to win this so bad, and you'll see those second and third efforts continually as the game goes on. So up high comes the throw. Knocked down by Giants, but vanished to Bell. Wow, look at the way he just shrugged them off. Charging through, he shrugged another one. Slaps onto the left boot, into space. That is a magnificent effort. And the mark's taken by Cameron. Yes, the biggest man on the pitch, hard to miss. How about the feeding, though? He shrugged two tackles straight through and then puts it perfectly on the platter for Cameron. I'll be looking at Cameron and saying, mate, please finish off this work. I worked so hard to get you into this position. So starts his walk. Will he break out into a jog? Distance won't be a problem, just needs to hold his nerve. Kicks on its way.
Oof.
And it's come off the woodwork.
We'll be disappointed with that, Darcy Cameron. Ideal football conditions this afternoon. Directly in front, no wind. So
I think that might be no Reardon who set him up for the kick.
The Giants will look to come out of defence. Big, long, booming kick. Flynn, the target, takes it from behind. Pretty simple mark in the end for the big man. He looks further afield and instead is forced backwards. So Iden crossed the face of goal. Well done, Lockie Keefe. And he'll probably look to come back to the broadcast side, but Alex, that's a little bit risky. Called to play on now. Short chipping kick. Haven't really gained any meterage, the Giants. Just chipping it across their goal mouth. Looking for the right option. This is Haitley. So Haitley short. Good kick. Langdon the target. His first game in the NEAFL this season. Poor kick. Cameron could run onto it, but the Giants somehow make something out of nothing there. Iden stop props and finds a target in Lockie Keefe. Keefe does a bit of a fakie with the handball before dishing it off. Short kick's a good one. They've worked as well, the Giants. This is Jack Buckley. Had plenty of it in the first quarter. 10 plus possessions to date. Has a look forward now. He's got Simpson at centre half forward. Likes to go more towards the pocket. Big pack of players flying. Good strong mark by Flynn. He'll look forward. Simpson wants it long in the pocket. Goes that direction now. Simpson, crunch the pack, front and centre. Snap around the body by Haitley's a goal. The Giants finally have their first of this quarter. And it's Jackson Haitley who put that one through for his first goal in the NEAFL.
Nearly went to give it as well, but decided, no, I'm directly in front. I'll just snap it through. That was great play. A couple of excellent marks from Flynn to really set them up, get the momentum going.
Exactly what you want from your big fellas as well. We had Dawson Simpson calling for at the top of the goal square, crunched the pack, enabled the footy to come to ground level, front and centre. And
Keith was selling some hand candy. It's not the big men are playing as midfielders.
Why not on a day like today as well, Jacko, I say?
Great time to work on those skills. It'll never stick like it will today. They make their way to the middle to continue this excellent ruck battle that we're having.
Just waiting for Tom Baxter, I think it is, just running into his starting position in the defensive 50 for the Swans. He's there now. So the umpire can bounce it into the turf. Joey O'Brien, beautiful bounce before. I'd back him in again, and he doesn't let me down. Cameron won this one down. The Swans will want the quick reply. Handball came back to Cameron. The big fella bent over, picked it up. Barclay, great smother, but it came back towards Cameron now. He'll work the handball out wide. He's got running players. Big boot to half forward for Sydney. And they've done well. And the mark's taken there by Tom Baxter. So Baxter now to the hot spot. Beautiful kick. Big fly. Ball spoiled free there by Jack Buckley. Fisted away and through for a rush behind.
They put another dribbler in. We're seeing a few going off the ground and both of them just missing. So we'll go out by Cumming. Puts it on to Iden. Iden throws on the right boot. That's a good mark. Over the top they go. Shipley, such a good user of the ball. Puts it in the middle. Not gathered cleanly, but it's still had its impact. Over the top, they're going to need to go up into some space. But it looks like it's unfortunately tumbled just out of reach.
Bit of a shame because Aidan Bonner was running on. They could have just had a bit of flow there, the Giants, but as you said there, Will, out of space.
So in will go again. If the Giants can get that free-flowing run again, you'd back them down the other end. Ball comes up. One down. Cameron couldn't make it stick. Oh, look at that. Shipley. Wonderful. Amity gets his hand on and turns it over. Left foot hit down the boundary. Likely to go out in the full. Was that another 6, Ed? 6 it is. But he'll stay in. The rules have changed. So turns around. Looking for his option. There's a leader there in Buckley, but decides to go by Iden. So a fair bit of space. A little bit of this contest is starting to open up. And a few more options. So goes to the uncontested mark as they continue to just try and pick their way, cover some ground. Waiting. Goes by foot, right foot. Is that a great... That is a wonderful kick and an excellent mark at the absolute full stretch. Laterally there, O'Halloran. Haven't seen as much of O'Halloran. Perhaps he's just having a well-earned rest from the first quarter. Bonner onto that right foot. He's inside the goal square. It's gone a long way. Hard at one-on-one. Tap to ground. Who can win this contest? Swans players everywhere, but it will be gathered by the Giants. Sends a handball. God, sold that candy, didn't he? That was Addison, but that's an excellent defensive mark. Can't be taken and slapped through for a behind.
Good pressure there from the Giants. Just took their time to get it to half forward. Then once it was inside 50, a bit of organised chaos. So Swans just feeling the heat the past 5 or 6 minutes. Giants just haven't been able to hurt them on the scoreboard as the Swans work the footy through midfield. Couple of chip kicks. They got some fresh legs on, but elect to keep it out wide. That's Isaiah Olsen. Short one. The Giants just running back to try and get as far back in defence as they can. As foot goes short, beautiful kick, and the Giants will have a chance against. Apologies there. That's Isaiah Olsen there. So 50 out, directly in front. Looks like he fancies himself with the distance. Not a breath of wind here at Blacktown today. So why wouldn't you have a crack? Team leads by 9. Drop punt. It will fall short. Will get the distance, but it will miss to the left.
The lack of wind seeming to have more of an impact than we thought it would. So Cumming will look to take this out. So scanning for options. A few little packs around besides to putting the chipper into Jackson Haitley, who'll push it forward once more to Addison. So Addison has Langdon there, just waiting for the ball, calling for it, begging him to give it to him, and he receives. So as he looks on, they're not going for long bombs here. They're going for those short, sharp, guaranteed marks. Up very high over the top. It's going to be out in the full. And that's not what Langdon wanted.
Quite like that from the Giants. They had Flynn and Kieran Briggs, two real big men, just trying to work to that next contest, as we've seen the big fellas take a lot of marks today, but unfortunately for both of them, they couldn't outsize them because the footy went out of play as Pink brings it in for the Swans. Long kick, Simpson underneath it, thrown off it really for the Giants, and the big clearing fist comes from Stein. It'll be thrown in.
Real good fist. Got himself right in front of the contest. Maybe could have gone for the mark, but sometimes safety first, then teamwork. So here we go, a bit of an attacking chance here for the Swans. They've got a 10-point lead as it stands. 24 and a half minutes gone. Can they extend it? Ball goes up. One down nicely from Simpson. Tapped into the middle. Hately thrashing about. Nice clean hands. Well done. Beaumont tries to get it out, but it's turned over. Hately gets his hand back on it. Puts a right-footed clearance towards Flynn. Can't be taken, but look at the run. Run and carry here. There's Langdon. Out the front of Sproul. It's a foot race. It looks like the foot race will be won by Barkley, but it's gone to ground. This could be problem. Oh, professional, but well done, Barkley.
How was the pace on Barkley then? I thought for every day of the week Sproul would beat him, but
that extra muscle, mate. Slowed him down, Sproul.
The second the footy hit the ground, Barkley was off to the races and had 2 or 3 metres on him.
Cleared him.
So the Giants in attack. Shadows of half-time. Ball just spilled out the back, really. Here's a chance for O'Halloran. Wrapped up in a tackle, took him on. Could have been high. Umpire just letting the footy just bobble around in there, waiting for a clear position. Here's Fox over it. He's had a heap of it. Tackled by Hately. He's had heaps of it this quarter. Spills out to Barkley again. Smart user, but this time spills off the chest of Dawson Simpson. Ball at ground level. Veerhouse did well. Flicked it backwards. Snap around the body just to gain meterage. Worked well. Oh, that was real clever there by Olsen. Couldn't quite go on with it, but he'll keep running forward. He'll want it out wide, Olsen. Sidestep beautiful. Drop punt to the hot spot. Running back with the fight for the Giants' defence is the Irishman Callum Brown. Marked strongly. And chance goes begging for Sydney.
Quite a few Irishmen on the pitch at the moment. Keefe will have the ball. All his experience and frame being used. Willing his teammates forward. Few leads. Decides to go short. Cumming typically a good user of the football. Again, they found themselves in this position, just unable to get ground as it goes back to Keefe. Looks for the spread, not going to happen. Will he just go back? Look at the big man putting in some steps. Oh, torches around Riley Stoddard, puts it onto the chest of Aidan Bonner. Wasn't that special? You don't usually see him out that size go for the goose step. Bonner looks up. Can he find? He does, but it's going to be contested with Scott Brown. I'd love to go back for a replay of what Lockie Keefe just pulled out of the bag.
Doesn't matter who the big fella is. If there's someone 2 metres tall running around with someone 180, it is just fun to watch. So the footy's thrown in. Swans in attack. Cameron, he'll muscle his way to front position. Speaking of big fellas. Finds the boundary line straight away. Takes a breath. Tell you what, Zach Sproul been very well held this quarter by Rory Barkley in defence. Barkley hasn't left. He's left the left shoe of Sproul as they wrestle off the ball at half forward for the Giants. But it's the Swans at half forward. There'll be a free kick here to Cameron for a push. They'll go quickly. O'Riordan, umpire says no, come around the mark. So that's what Darcy Cameron will do. Give the Giants defence a chance to just zone off and mark off. He wants to go long. And instead he goes short to that option that we saw a second ago, Colin O'Riordan. Another Irishman.
The man from Templemore, O'Riordan.
Made his AFL debut last season. We'll be looking to get back there this year. As the ball came out the back, Stoddard could have copped one in the back for the Swans. Umpire letting play go on in the sunshine. Bending, weaving, snapping. That's a beautiful goal for Sam Wicks. That is outstanding.
That's why he was on the best last week. Look at that, just weaves his way through. Showed the ball a little bit. How many hands did he put that kick through? And from a tight angle too.
Half a dozen. Went in, extracted it, and then came out with a lovely goal and made something out of nothing.
That was special. The Swans lead. Getting to extend. Not quite the imposing level, but certainly a bit of 3 majors are needed by the Giants from to claw their way back in.
It's 3 goals, 5 to the Swans this quarter to 1 goal 4. So both sides with their chances. The Swans haven't quite buried the Giants as much as they perhaps could have, as you mentioned there, Will.
So it's gone up. One comfortably thought it was going to be the other, but it was Cameron. Can't be taken, coming in chase, manages to get his hands on it, but tackled hard from behind. Veerhouse looming, but trying to be picked up with steel. It's going to go over for a boundary line. We're talking about the lack of goals from the Giants this quarter. I'm putting that down to Barkley's work on Sproul. Stalking him like a 16-year-old on Facebook. Hasn't left. Knows everything about him.
Leave that there, Will.
Knows what he had for dinner and everything as the ball comes up again. Swans looking and looming. Can they get another before the corner? That's Stoddard who plays it forward into the path of Bell. Whoa, wonderful pickup. Goes check side. Is it through? No. Behind. Could have been special.
So the Giants here, they'll be just looking to defend and not concede another major. They'll run it out through Iden. Long kick. Clears defensive 50, nearly to the wing. Great mark taken there from Simpson, I think it is. He has a look forward. Wants to go, now does. Big pack of players out there. Who'll fly, who wants it? That's a great mark there.
Stoddard.
I think it is Stoddard. Goes short to McInerney. Centre half back, a true centre half back position as well. He'll come out wide to Olsen, who's been a bit of a playmaker this quarter. Have a look forward. There he goes, running straight on. Goes back via hand to Pink. Pink to centre wing. High up and under kick. Punched away there. Amity did well as the footy runs out of play in front of Cooper Kilpatrick.
You can start to see the leg speeds beginning to die down. A little more options around for them.
Players wanting a break at half-time. 31 minutes just about expired in this second quarter.
So up it goes. Amity in the fray with Simpson, can't be won. Oh, coming out hard was Robbie Fox. Puts onto his right foot. Stabbing kick, won't be marked, but he's been turned nicely by way of what's going to happen. Played forward. That was a really good punch out of trouble. I thought...
Deliberate.
Well, I was going to say, I thought Darcy Cameron was going to run onto that and pilfer it off.
You feel a bit sorry there for Iden. He didn't have many other options. If he grabbed it, tackled, probably holding the footy as the shot on goal goes across the face, somehow bounces in, coming...
I thought that bounced out, but here we are.
Got a kick. Simpson copped one in the back. Umpire let play go on. Ground level. Fox, outstanding pickup. Came back to Belbasis. His kick was smothered as they rushed the footy around O'Riordan, as you'd expect from him. Marks strongly. Has a look forward, does Colin O'Riordan. Now to the hotspot. Amity, the target, punched away. Where are your Crummers? Swans not quite there. Well, they could be there. Wayward handball came out. Kicked away by Shipley. High, long one. Bouncing footy. Couldn't quite favour it as Stoddard gets it. And his kick to the forward line is beaten by the siren. But the Swans have kicked away a little bit. Lead this one by 17 points. 6-7 plays 3-8. Half-time here on NEAFL TV. We'll take a break and catch our breath and come back from what I'm sure will be a thrilling second half in this first leg of the Sydney Derby today. It is the Swans leading by 17 points. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. It is the Swans and the Giants. Sydney leading this one by 17 points, round 4 of the NEAFL. I'm Eddie Summerfield with Will Jackson in commentary. Play about to get underway, Will.
Very exciting first half of football there, Eddie, and you can see it really start to open up in the second quarter particularly. So, be interesting to see which team actually capitalises, which team's got the fitness, and who can see it out for the remainder.
So, Swans kicking to the left-hand side of your NEAFL TV. The Giants to the right, our broadcast partner Bar TV. Leon behind the camera today doing an outstanding job as per usual. Bell, outstanding tackle. Big tackle nearly laid there by Bonner, but got his kick. Swans get the footy to half forward. Ball ricochets there around. Eventually came to Veerhouse. Put it to Robbie Fox inboard. Long kick. Amity the target. Keith, good use of the body. Amity kept his feet. Can handball to the goal square. Instead elects to bend it around his body on his right boot and kick a goal. Why not?
Good thing he got that in because he torched a teammate who was standing in the goal square. Make the most of that one.
Not what the Giants would want. Leads now out to 23 points. A near perfect start for the Swans in this third quarter. Goal in the first 30 seconds.
You'd be happy with that again as the legs start to tire. Just having that little lead you can cling on to must be the biggest for the day. Continues to be pushed all throughout that second and perhaps extending in the third.
Kicked 2 goals this afternoon. Amity has Sam Wicks. Kicked 2 outstanding ones. Singles to Johnny Poor, Tom Tyson, that's a fun one to say, and Robbie Fox.
Bit of alliteration for you there, Ed.
Zach Sproul, 2 goals for the Giants, but been very well held by Rory Barkley in that second quarter.
So as the ball comes up, he just elects for the throw. Tapped down one by Simpson, you'd think. Someone's socketed out of the volley, punched back forward. 2 men play at it. Here's Kilpatrick. He wanted to burst through the middle. Instead, Bell snatched it from him. Bonner over the top. Shrugged him off. No problem. Back to Kilpatrick. Gives a little hand off to O'Reilly. And he puts on the right boot. Right out in front. Cannot find his target. So they continue to play. Amity right down the far side, but being tapped and prolonged. Kilpatrick back inside. Fox, all the usual suspects as it's hit onto the boot. O'Reilly, top of the goal square. Can't be marked. No, but it can be punched. Can't be gathered. Yes, it can. Kicked up hard. Doesn't quite go the distance. It'll go through for a behind. Frantic play once again. Giants need to really tighten things up if they're going to get out of this one unscathed.
Well, Robbie Fox has been running rampant. 22 possessions in the first half. Colin O'Reilly, 19. 15 Isaac coming for the Giants, and Jackson Haitley, he's had 14 touches for GWS as the Giants now go long up the corridor. Bounces on a good length, but waiting out the back is Colin O'Reilly, and he'll take a bounce. He can take 2, elects to kick short, and good idea, Veerhouse there. Just waiting. Amity wants it. The tip of the goal square goes that direction now. The big fella leads, pushed off it by Keith. Kept his feet well. The Giants' defence does well. Weird sort of over the top kind of kick out to Flynn. Spilled the mark, but the big fella kept his feet well. Worked the footy out to the wing. Good use of the body by Sproul. Chance to have a bit of a run, but as we've seen, Barkley's very quick on foot and it shuts him down nicely.
Hasn't left his side. Look at that, and you can see the frustration coming from Sproul as he keeps his post, the watchman over the top. And here we go, teammates come in to give him a little bit of chin music, you might say, but handbags down as the ball comes in through the throw. Who's going to win this? It's one down by the Giants. McInerney slung down by Bonner, but manages to get a pretty good little knock away to Ling, who wasn't seen all first half. First kick tumbles out of bounds. We're expecting good things from Ling today, Ed. He had a good little outing last week. He's got wheels as well. Don't
think he played any minutes in that first half there, Will, but we did see him at half-time having a kick with the runner, so I think we'll see him play a lot of game time in the third and fourth quarters. The Swans kicking to the left-hand side of your NEAFL TV. Thrown in. Simpson wins this one down. Ball bobbles around. Big pack of players once again, and they'll toss it up.
I think it's not the start of that same congestion we saw in that first quarter. Up it goes. Excellent ruck ball there. McInerney. Hasn't he been active today? But Bonner manages to get away before it's slapped forward. Nicely gathered there by not Stein at all. Addison sends a central ball into the middle. It's with Finlayson, who sees Haitley. Oh, wow. Ripped hard down was Wicks, who gives it off to Fox. He's got Bell in front, but decides to elect for the kick towards Amity. Over Flynn. Kilpatrick there, looming. Big crunching tackle from Kilpatrick. Just what you want to see inside your attacking 50. Forward 50 pressure. An excellent start.
So Amity will do the ruck work down there, but Simpson used his body well. Ball at ground level. Amity came charging through in the end. He's wrapped up in a tackle, gained a metre or two, but without the footy. Sat ground level. Giants defence really working hard to try and get a clean possession. You know what, that won't happen. Umpire crosses himself and will throw it up.
All players catching their breath. Not feeling like running wide just yet. Wait for this game to break open. Swans with a good chance to attack here. Amity, I wouldn't say he wins out there, but it's punched into space towards Belbasis. Belbasis puts a left foot snapper right towards, and that is very cleanly taken by the Swans. We'll wait for him to turn around. There he is right there. Paul. Johnny Paul got on the score sheet last week.
Kicked one in the first quarter from a similar position for memory as well, Will.
Very similar position. So let's see what he makes of this as he begins his run. Some encouraging words coming from the crowd, but that's going to be dragged across the face for a behind. Right-hand side of the goal. It's going to be Swans 51, Giants 26. Let's see how the Giants respond here. They've absorbed a bit of pressure so far this quarter.
So the Giants out on Simpson, the target. Pink from behind. Beautiful fist, and it will be another throw-in. It's very even contest across the board today. 44 tackles, 43. Hit-outs 31-21 the way of the Giants, but the Swans midfield been working beautifully. So they lead this one by 25 points. Tossed in. Simpson used his body well. Flicks the handball over the top, looking for the running player. Got his snap around the body, did O'Halloran. Out the back, Pink there, couldn't mark. Sproul wrapped up in a tackle, drilled into the turf. Robbie Fox jumps on board, and it will be tossed up again. They're not giving Sproul an inch out there this afternoon.
And if you close out Sproul, you do tend to shut down the majority of the Giants' attack. Ball comes off, one by Simpson again. He's doing a good job in the ruck there. McInerney trying to fight out as is Shipley, but it's cleared away by Wicks. Cumming tries to get a slap down, can't do. Gets the ball back. Can he take it cleanly? Yes, he can. Through the middle, put forward in front. Still can't take it. The Swans will pick it up and go for their own attack. But instead, it's going to be pulled in.
Could be holding the footy here, Jacko.
Dragged in, perhaps. Yeah. Yes, it was. Everyone was screaming for it. So the Giants will turn around by way of Haitley and go out toward the boundary. It's on its way. Langdon. Once again, he is a good user of the football. Plenty of senior experience.
It's a big kick as well, Langdon. Now goes inside 50. Flynn the target. He'll fly and mark. No. Spilled out wide. Snap around the body to the top of the square. Sproul there. Bouncing ball. Darcy Cameron, last line of defence. Kept it in. Flicked the handball over the top. Chance here for the Swans to reload. Pink the target. Should mark. Does. Spins. Has a look for a target. The Giants' wave has just slowed the play down a little bit. Long kick now. Keefe the target. Amity, good use of the body. He did well. Apologies, Amity was the target. Keefe got the fist in there to bring it to ground level. And just the players just not quite finding the handle on the footy. Haitley's in there, and it will be eventually tossed up. Ling at the bottom of the pack.
Thrashing around Ling. Haitley in. So up it goes, tapped out into space. So a little bit of room to manoeuvre here for the Swans. Just traded hands a few times. Ling did so well. O'Riordan, always a good pair of hands. Put down the Wicks, who puts a nice long clearance in. Can't be marked, but there's still a lot of pressure. It's in the pocket. Amity puts in the don't argue, but hand pass less successful. Big tackle by way of Wicks. Drills him into the turf for good measure. Surely that'll start a bit of arge.
Really smart stuff there from Wilson Mudgee. If he stayed in play, may have got pinged for holding the footy because he took the tackler on. Instead managed to find touch, I guess, from rugby parlance. And we'll see a throw-in as there's a push out. And the free kick will go to Nick Shipley from St George. Drafted a couple of seasons ago to the Giants. Short kick up the wing. Bit of holding going on. Umpire letting play go on. Langdon, good use of the body. And it will be tossed in right in front of the Giants interchange bench. So they swing a couple of changes. They really need this next goal, Will. 1 and 2 coming into today, the Giants. 1 last week. Lost to the Swans in round 1. Haven't beaten them since round 1, 2018. Here's Bonner. Handball over the top. Cameron applying the pressure. Briggs there too. Just trying to push the footy forward. Spilled out. Umpire called play on. And a big scrum develops around this one. Simpson laying the tackle there on Bell.
Got him in a headlock, it looks like.
183 centimetres versus 210.
Take your pick. Up it comes and it's gone to Noah Val. Nice little clearance from Darcy Cameron. Will it be called deliberate?
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. I mean, there was no one around. It was probably just a bit of a... Didn't think too much about it. Just went for the clearance. Came off the side of the boot. So Jackson Haitley, he'll look to create something for the Giants and swing the momentum back their way. Ball goes up. How about over the top? The big man. The man from Pant Hills as he chips forward. Can't be taken. That is an excellent mark. Dragged down right in the thick. It's Ian Hill. He's a good kick of the football. Very good kick of the football. 2 goals last week, Ed?
Bobby Hill, 2 goals last week. Just bobbed around down there up forward. He had a chance earlier today and just missed down this end.
So let's see how he goes. You would, if last week's anything to go by, you would back him in from here. So as he starts his run, the kick's on its way on the right. Has it straightened? No. It's away the left, and that's harsh because they needed to score to wrestle their way back into this game.
Momentum has gone with the Giants the past couple of minutes. Well, they've stopped the Swans scoring and getting inside 50, so let's see what they can do here. It's the Swans looking for a target from deep in defence, into the sun. Long kick to half back. Coming through there was Haitley. Couldn't mark for GWS. Ball flicked over the top and eventually it goes out of play. Right on centre wing here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Or the BISP for short if you're looking for something to roll off the tongue.
Doesn't have the best ring to it, but you know, at least it's short and simple, Ed. So waiting for the ball to come in now. It's right about on halfway here. Gone up, tapped down. Nice, easy clearance done by the Giants who send an inside 50 to a 2-on-1. O'Riordan's never going to lose that one.
Now there's a free kick here for a Shepherd. Now O'Riordan not in the wrong. He was just plugging back to fill that hole. And the Giants will again have another set shot at goal.
So in comes the run. This would be a very, very good time to score if they're going to turn this game around. He looks relatively happy with himself. And his teammates are happy too.
It's the checkout chick, Kieran Briggs.
Oh, the boy from Pant Hills, the ex-demon. Boy, has this changed around. He's got an interesting story if you feel like a Google viewers. Kieran Briggs.
Could you give us a synopsis while we wait for the footy to come back to the middle, Will?
Well, I think he played his first game of football about age 8. Never played. He was always a soccer player. So he went from being a little complainer to all of a sudden being a pretty... He got best on ground that day in his first match, and he hasn't really looked back. Luckily, he grew about 4 foot since that game. Certainly helped. He stacked on 8 kilos going into this season, and that's good weight, not pudding weight that we were talking about.
199 centimetres there, Kieran Briggs, 101 kilos. So footy's bounced right in the centre of the turf. The Swans get the clearance this time. Good, smart use of the body from Beaumont. Force the Swans player to spill the mark. And the Giants are on here again, running through midfield. God, his kick, no. Holding the footy, Isaac Cumming. Take a bow. Great chase down there, Kilpatrick.
That was Wicks.
And, sorry, it is Wicks, and it will be a 50-metre penalty too. Costly error there for the Giants because they were away.
That is a shame. It's a testimony to what the Swans have done so well all game. Just those extra defensive efforts.
So Sam Wicks, he's already kicked 2 goals today.
Including the best one of the day.
6 goals coming into this afternoon. Had a pretty good day out last week as well. He's had 11 touches today. Starts his approach. just to give the buffer back to the Swans. Drop punt on the way, floating ball missing to the left.
The Giants will breathe a sigh of relief for that one after what was a very costly error. Well called. Perhaps they can go down the other end. Another goal here.
There's a 50-metre penalty here. It's off the ball, and it's going to go to the Giants. Nick Shipley at centre-half back. So really for no gain at all. And just a behind loss to the Giants from that weird passage of play.
So Ian Hill's put the ball into the hands of O'Halloran, it looks like. Yes, it is. Really long right foot kick. Oh, how about the body work? Can't be taken. Matt Hill's got a bit of running work to do. Little falling off the tackle. Can they get it? It's coming around the corner. You think he sells a bit of hand lollies, and he's missed. He's gone across the face.
Oh, he can't believe it.
He'll be livid.
Hand to the face, Zach Langdon. Did all the hard work and missed the simplest of shots.
He did everything right except for the most important bit.
So let off for the Swans. Back to a 3-goal ball game here as Reardon takes a low-down mark, flick the handball back to Stoddart. He puts the afterburners on, goes for a bit of run to Robbie Fox. Got the footy back. He'll work it over the top to Ling. Ling in close quarters did very well, although the boundary umpire disagrees with me, and it will be tossed in Giants half forward. 18-point ball game here. Round 4 of the NEAFL. Hopefully you're enjoying this one on NEAFL TV, on Facebook, on YouTube. Give us a shout out, say g'day. Wherever you're watching, thanks to Bar TV, our broadcast partners again in 2019, as Darcy Cameron came charging through, lost the footy in the end, snap kick, good one from Dylan Buckley, touched off the boot and it will be tossed in.
Jackson Haitley taking the field in place of Buckley. He's following his ball out of bounds and having a quick rest on the side.
May have been Jack Buckley, in fact.
That was Jack. Well observed, Ed.
Bit of push and shove going on as Cameron, just off the play here, goes towards the Swans bench, and Lockie Keith.
The hot-headed Keith, who would have thought. Nice tap down from Hill, but it has gone straight to the ground. Popped out. The usuals. Bonner in there, Shipley. They're just going to say immediately, bring it back up. So, up it goes. Another good position. Tries to scoop it over his head, but it'll be taken by Fox. He's had a great game, as has O'Riordan, who puts it forward. Keith, the little push and shovers over Veerhouse. It was a pretty hard one to win out there. He's got a couple options on the side here, but chooses to go on the far end of the ground to a one-on-one. Never want to question their decisions. Ooh. Throws his head back, and it is a high tackle.
His head was sent into Penrith just about. It was hit that hard, McInerney. As he has a look forward. Doesn't have a lot to kick to, so he'll have to just go short out wide. Didn't quite get the carry to hit his mate on the chest. Handball came out to Belbasis. Sydney Uni listed player. Went back to Pink. Well done, Bonner. Smothered off the boot. The Swans with numbers, though, but kept working there, Connor Iden. Came back. The Giants just working the footy to half-back. I think that may have been Sprouse. Build the mark. The Swans go through midfield. Stoddard there. Has space, has time. Goes through midfield. Bouncing footy right in a good length. McCalla, good for the Swans. Inside 50. Mark taken. Hits him on the tit. Has a look forward. 55 out. He's a big long kick. Kilpatrick goes to the square. Amity the target. Big fly from behind. Fox!
What a mark.
Outstanding. He's doing it all over the ground, Robbie Fox, and he should go back and kick the simplest of goals, set shot, 45-degree angle. We'll have a really good look at it here on NEAFL TV.
Back of the pack. Nearly fell over the back of him, but on that second grab, has to rein it in.
So, Fox comes in. Drop punt. Jesus, made the umpire work, but he snuck it through.
Are we going to talk about the handstand of Lachlan Keefe trying to put him off? I've seen some things, but that is a unique one from a very unique character of the game. So he's gone from pushing and shoving to try and show he did a goose step before. He's having to be even looking for a career change as an acrobat, I think, Lachlan Keith. Unfortunately, it was ineffective, but it was, well, the effort was there.
Novel.
Certainly novel from one of the bigger men.
So back to a 24-point ball game here, just after you felt the Giants had a bit of the ascendancy and were perhaps just building to something bigger in the final quarter. So we're about to tick on to the time-on period in the third quarter. Swans leading by 24.
Still not too far behind as the ball's went out by Simpson. Tap forward, O'Riordan's on the ball. Puts it very up high in the way of a couple of players who come in and spoil each other, Bell included. It's going to be picked up, you think, comfortably, but no, he's wrapped up in a tackle. Head over the ball, go the Swans. Goes to the kick, didn't quite come off. Wicks sends a snap right in tow. Keefe there, not doing handstands, instead trying to clear players out of the way. That's lovely. Iden having a run, puts it onto his right boot towards the boundary, into
Beautiful
space,
kick.
hits him square on the chest. Zach Langdon, and he'll chip it forward. Lovely stuff, a little bit over the top of Hill, unfortunately. He's got some extra work to do. It was taken out of bounds. Yulton. It's probably a good result for the Giants there. They've done such a good job around the stoppages and the ruck. If they can get into space.
Well, Cameron's off at the moment for the Swans, so real chance here for the Giants. Flynn won this one down as you'd expect. She's coming charging through there, and the Swans defence stands up, and it will be tossed up right where the ball probably would have bounced if the boundary umpire just let it go.
Jack Buckley there who came barraging through. He looks, he's has to step that off. Up it goes. You'd say Amity went on that one. Haitley over the top. Kicked off the ground. People shouting for unsafe. Oh, look at this. Langdon with a chance. Goes long. Goes for home. That's gone through the uprights. And can they swing the momentum back in this one? The Giants trailing by just 18 points. One more. Even two. Right back in it, Ed.
Geez, he's a class player, isn't he, Langdon? He came out of that stoppage, sidestepped 3 or 4 times, and then had the time to just line the goals up and put it straight through the middle. We saw earlier this quarter similar kind of play at the top of the goal square, though, and he sidestepped a couple of times, then tried to snap it and missed the simplest of goals from 10 metres out, but put him from 40, and beautiful stuff there, Zach Langdon.
Beautiful right to left there as well, and could have kicked to the contest, but said, you know what, no, I've got this. I'm just going to send it through the uprights. See you in the middle of the field. Thank you very much.
So footy back in the middle. Back to 18 points. Can Giants sniff another one out here? Plenty of time left in this third quarter. Oh, it's pinned into the turf, and just do that one again.
Very bouncy bit of ground there.
So Amity, big flight. Dawson Simpson won it down, but running through was McInerney. Took a bounce, takes 2, runs to 50, put it on his right slipper, drop punt on the way, across the face.
Imagine that for a response right back at you, Langdon, from McInerney. 2 AFL graded players going at it. Would have been special. Instead, Giants have a chance to keep their momentum going at a really critical part in the match as well. Late in the premiership quarter, only trailing by 19. Chips in space. Some would say risky, but when you've got a boot on you like that, it's not. So Cumming chips forward, back to the position, and looking for Langdon. Here he is. He's got to deal with O'Riordan. Oh, it's a great mark, and it has been paid. You would say fairly so as well. Hard guy to outmark O'Riordan. So Langdon's got a couple options on the side.
He's been on fire the last 10 minutes, Langdon, hasn't he? He goes backwards. Sorry there, Will.
You're fine, mate. You continue on.
So Iden just deep in defence. Langdon almost wanted another crack at it. Spilled her off the chest there and ripped into the ground. Good tackling pressure from Wicks.
Wicks is having a pretty effective quarter, isn't he? He's been a tackling machine. Disposal ball magnet. I think he's got a couple of goals as well. As we look for the stat sheet, the ball's come up.
13 touches, 10 tackles. Not wrong there, Will.
Speaking of disposal machines, here's O'Riordan. I jinxed him, unfortunately, though, as it tumbles out of his grip and goes out of bounds.
He's had 27 touches, 9 marks. Outstanding overhead there, Colin O'Riordan.
That's what's even more impressive that Langdon took one over him just earlier.
Leading the Swans today. Toss the coin in the middle. As Simpson won this one down, Bonner went without it, but here's McInerney again. Dished it out wide to the ruckman Cameron, to the hot spot. Beautiful kick and mark right on the chest. And it will be Wicks again. Kicked 2 goals earlier today. Academy player for the Swans, or former Academy player. He's kicked 6 goals this season.
Hasn't McInerney come straight back on and made his presence felt?
In a big way. That was an outstanding kick. Just fell into his breadbasket. Wicks comes in for his goal number 3 to take it back to a 23-point margin. He misses.
Another sigh of relief comes the way of the Giants players. And viewers, if that's who you've chosen to support in the Battle of the Bridge today.
A derby.
Derby or Derby was the great question. Apparently Derby won out on a video survey that was released today. Kicks come further, long, somewhat boundary side. Look at that shove. Bonner comes over top. Oh, guess who? There he is again, Langdon. Really trying to take this game by the scruff of the neck and steer his team. Can he claw back? They're 20 points down, but you still feel like they've got the momentum despite being more camped inside their own 50.
12 touches and a goal for Langdon today. Outstanding goal too. Limited game time, of course, for the Giants as it comes out the back. Wicks again. Wayward banana kick, but it will work out okay for the Swannies. Inside 50, Cameron will fly from behind. 1 grab, 2 grab, not quite grab. Kilpatrick did the crumbing. Snap kick, bouncing footy. Came off the boot, I think, of a Giants player, so it will be 1 behind. Outstanding chaos footy from the Swans. As they work it back here, the Giants. Haitley quickly couldn't mark. Another chance here for the Swans. Couple of handballs came out to Bell. Now this kid can run. Ran to 50. Put it to the hot spot. Wants a mark. Kilpatrick underneath. No one flew in the end as the footy bounces. Kilpatrick thereabouts too. Wicks too. Could have got one in the back. Didn't. Umpire letting play go on. Bonner's there for the Giants. Ball spills out free. They've got the numbers here. The Swans kick came out wide and it misses to the left.
No one went up for the pack mark there. Everyone trying to crumb.
They're all scared of Darcy Cameron coming from behind again.
If everyone tries to crumb, you've just got yourself a messy loaf of bread. The ball's tossed in. Can't be won. You'd say it's to the advantage of the Giants, but fair bit of pressure here. Cummings slaps it on. 2 on 1. Well done to spoil it. As he turns, looks Shipley, Iden, Haitley. Haitley sends a right foot kick into space, but geez, there's 4 or 5 Swans players. But look at Callum Brown, the Irishman, grabs him by one arm, turns around. Can he win it again? No, it's one out by the Swans, and the ball continues. McInerney, so dangerous. Puts a shove in. Nearly taken, but he's still holding true. Some would say incorrect disposal from McKellar, but the ball continues by McInerney. As he turns it on, continues. Reynolds sends a long kick, but we're going to bring it back.
I think it'll be a free kick downfield because he was put to ground after he kicked it there, McInerney, and the free kick will go downfield to the Swans.
That was frantic.
So they'll just slow things down. Here's O'Riordan, racking them up today. Wheels and goes with Fox. Just the old 1-2. Had to bend down to pick it up. O'Riordan inside 50 now. Cameron Amity flew. Ball fisted out the back. Here's a chance for your Crummers. Bouncing ball. Kilpatrick's there. There's that touch through. No.
You need VAR on that one.
Chance begging for the Bloods. So extend their lead just by the minor scores. 22 points at the moment.
A lot of pressure coming by the way of the Giants. They need to revive that pressure valve. So, again, Stoddard sells the hand candy, but kick smothered. Buckley nearly taken from behind. Shipley, they go to spoil each other's ball. There's been a play. Advantage is the call. So it's slap forward on the right boot. Look at the wheels on Callum Brown as he goes. He's got a bit of height, but can't get up to that one. And here's McKellar fighting it out by way. And guess who? Colin O'Riordan sends a long one and cools the Jets as they look to push forward. They've certainly got a few options here, especially by way of Kilpatrick. Keeper Kilpatrick's got a man inside. Foot leaves him and just sums up his options. What can he make of this? By hand. Fox had such a great game from 50. Sends a centering kick towards the top of the goal square. The mark couldn't quite be taken. Left foot kick. Here's the chase on, and it's taken out of bounds.
Well done there, the Giants defence managing to just stand up there as Dylan Addison managed to just get it out of defensive 50. 29 minutes gone, 22-point ball game. Been real arm wrestle in this third quarter. Been 2 goals apiece really, and several behinds also for both of these Sydney sides as the Giants just somehow get it out of defence. Bouncing footy. Briggs was pushed without it. Umpire let play go on. Picked up by O'Riordan. It will be touch number 31 inside 50. Wayward kick, and the mark is taken pretty easily there by Jack Buckley. So Buckley just looking forward, slowing things down. Called to go now. Long and high one. Sproul. Briggs was pushed. Sproul will get it. Sproul held. Umpire off the ball has pinged a free kick. And it will go the way of the Swans for a hold. Did you see?
I didn't, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all to see Baxter, the man who was causing the influence on Sproul, as he's done all day. Kick toward the top of the 50, boundary side. Can't be one out. Fox lurking, as is a few options. Oh, he tried to sell it, but not the salesman he thought he was. Tackled in. Swans with a really good opportunity. Veerhouse taps it forward. That Kilpatrick on the ball. He won't get out. Well, someone does. It's Shipley. Can't be taken. Yell for ball coming from the crowd. They're getting involved. That's always good to hear. Picked up once again, but geez, a lot of bodies falling over that like dominoes. And it'll be another ball up. Frantic stuff neither team's defence has let off at all as this game has gone on. If anything, they've gotten a bit more relentless.
Tossed up. Swans in attack. Late in this third quarter, a Giants player got a kick out, but it's cut off by McInerney. He'll just weigh up his options. Amity's in the goal square, putting his fingers up, and that's the direction he goes. About 40 players underneath this one. Amity used his body well out the back. Bouncing ball, Fox lurking. That's dangerous. Bell picking up, snapping, couldn't get a kick. Giants just looking for that touchline, and they eventually get it, and it's rushed through for a behind. 23-point ball game. McInerney, as I mentioned, there's 16 touches. A fantastic user of the ball as well. Been really good today.
So he'll chip straight down forward to Simpson. Simpson spills it to Amity. He's got pressure over the top. And he's saved by the siren as Buckley just snaps a little lone goal to see things off.
Maybe telling the coach, put me forward in this last quarter, or I could be the X factor. Three-quarter time here, round 4 of the NEAFL. It is the Sydney Swans leading the Giants. 8 goals, 15-63, 5-10, 40. 23-point ball game. We're going to take a short break on NEAFL TV and come back with what's going to be a thrilling quarter with the Swans leading by 23 points. It's a 23-point lead to the Sydney Swans over the Giants in the undercard of the Sydney Derby. NEAFL Round 4 action coming to you live on NEAFL TV from Blacktown International Sportspark. Our goal kickers to three-quarter time for the Swans. Sam Wicks has 2, Fox and Amity 2 also, Tyson and Paul with 1 apiece. And for the Giants, Zach Sproul kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, but he has been very well held by Rory Barclay of the Swans. Zach Langdon kicked 1 in that third quarter, a ripper. Haitley and Briggs also with goals for the Giants. Our major possession winners as we just wait for this final quarter to get underway after what was a thrilling third quarter. Colin O'Riordan, he has had 30 touches for the Swans. Robbie Fox, 28 and 2 goals, as I mentioned. For the Giants, Isaac Cumming, 21, and Jackson Heatley, 19 and a goal for the Giants as well. Final quarter, round 4, Swans leading by 23 points. I'm Eddie Summerfield, and here is Will Jackson.
As we await the bounce, off they go. Beautiful bounce. 1 down. Cameron does a good job. Shipley tries to get his hands on it. Bonner and Co are there to wrap it up, and that'll be contained very nicely. So a slower start, but here comes the ball up. Let's see if this gets cleared into space. Up once again. Bit more of a slap. Bell lurking. Can't grab. Swans running. O'Riordan. Classic that he gets the first disposal. Puts it right out in front. Wonderful looking kick over to Olsen. Nelson's got a little bit of a decision to make here. Puts a chipper out in front. Cameron can't take it. And Giants, now they're in trouble around the boundary line, trying to work this way out. Veerhouse is caught up in a bit of a gang tackle from the Giants. Well held. Let's see how they fight it out. 23-point
lead to the Swans. They really missed an opportunity to kick away in that third quarter. They kicked 2 goals, 8 to 2 goals, 2 to the Giants. So we'll have another ball up. Swans in attack. Plenty of missed opportunities. Couple of gettable, couple not, as you tend to get in a game of Aussie rules. As it's thrown up again. Cameron winning it down as you'd expect. Handball came out to Bell. He's a good user of the footy. Top of the goal square. Amity underneath. Keefe did very well. Ball spilled free around the body. Missing it to the right-hand side. Isaiah Olsen.
24 points now. If Giants are there to make their statement, it's going to have to be in the next few minutes, you'd expect.
Probably have to kick 5 goals this quarter to win, which makes it hard for them.
But it's a crazy game, this one we all choose to support, so let's just see what happens. How about the step from the newfound acrobat in Keefe? Puts up a high ball. Simpson tries to get in the way of Cameron, but Cameron will take that down. He's got an option on the boundary side in Reynolds. But he's looking very much forward. Bit of tunnel vision that gets sent very high towards the top of the goal square. Uncontested mark. Left wide open was coming. So, Isaac Cumming, ball in hand. Let's see what he can make of this. It's the fourth quarter, it's do or die. Swings it round to his right boot. Can't be marked, no, but it can be punched. Bonner tries to get a clean ball. Can't be done. Simpson just drills it forward into space. Who's on the chase there? It's Hill. Let's see how Hill can make of it. Chance to spill out here. Taken from behind. This is the moment that they've been waiting for. As it's put forward. Nice foot race. Langdon exactly who you'd want underneath that. Will he continue? He'll wheel. Puts in a dribbler. Slide that through. He had slid that through. Oh boy. Oh boy, did he make the best of that one. Because that would have been dire if he hadn't. Great time to strike. It's exactly the start the Giants needed in this final term.
Numbers around the footy then when it spilled free, and Langdon had the smarts. He was up on the forward 50 when the turnover occurred and just ran as fast as he could to the tip of the goal square and eventually got his second of the day. A few asking, I noticed, James Rose and Ben Ronk both not playing it this evening for the Swans, both listed emergencies for tonight's Sydney Derby.
It's a good thing he got that. I was worried he was going to go for the dribbler and end up on Chiefs bounce, copping a spray, but no, he's thankfully converted that one home.
So tossed up in the middle, final quarter, 18-point margin. Can the Giants string a couple together here? Cameron laid down with Dawson Simpson, and it will be tossed up again in the middle.
3 goals, the difference just never seems nearly as imposing. It's come up. Trying to karate kick out of the air was coming. He's missed, but there's still a bit more work to do by Pope. Pope being shrugged off the ball. He's got a bit of support. And it's turned around, wheeled and snapped onto the right. Amity's under it. Who can win that? Keefe. And he did well to hold him off, used the body. And it's kicked forward. Should be a mark. Straight onto his chest. Addison turns, looking for options. Manages to find Shipley Ed.
So nice and slow play here for the Giants. Nice real slow build, which they haven't had too many opportunities to do all day. Eventually comes out to the wing, and it's Langdon there. He's kicked 2 goals. Been really impressive in this second half. Eventually forced to go long to half forward. Good use of the body by Sproul. Been quiet for the past 2 quarters. Kicked 5 goals last week. He's kicked 2 today. Can he muster something special in this last quarter? Long kick. Ball spilled free off hands from Flynn. Swans defenders under pressure. Bell last line. Got a kick out wide. Good kick as well. And he finds his man in Kilpatrick. So he has a look forward. Not a lot doing. Forced to go backwards. Why not? And just find something under the scoreboard. Lights are on here at Blacktown as the Swans work it across half back. Here's McInerney. He can take a bounce. He can take 2. He's got big Dawson Simpson chasing after him, so he'll take a 4th bounce. He can take 5. Here's McInerney inside 50. Lines him up. Underground drop punt kick turnover.
You cannot discredit the effort on the run there. I think he knew he was beaten, but gee, did he put in. So now is Shipley, and he's been such a great user. There's Xavier O'Halloran, who had a really, really frantic first quarter, and now he's trying to get back into the game. Is it picked off? No, but he's got a little bit of time to work with as he makes his way towards the boundary, sends it over. Little fist up. Wow, Cameron. How about that? Puts it behind him. Is it down the full? No.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Not opposite day it is. So it's Xavier O'Halloran over James Bell. And what can they do? You sense that they're up. Their tails are up after that goal. There he is, O'Riordan. And no one was around him there. He's such a great contested mark. You can't leave him on.
Just does that so well, doesn't he? Just plugs the hole. O'Riordan.
Man from Templemore. Swings around, puts it onto his right towards the 50. Who can get there? Oh, big over the top of the pack. Swans come to advantage here. Nice ball from Olsen inside. Picked up, can he run, Paul? Trying to get it through, but that's not how it'll be done. It's Keefe. So let's see what he does here. He goes for, just sells a bit of Ken. He just adds another string to his bow and puts it over the top. Dragged back. Nothing from the umpires, much to the dismay of the Giants. Top of the goal square. Was it marked? Not quite. Trying to be pushed forward. Paul Steele chasing. Steele hunting. Wanting to put the goal in, perhaps put the icing on the cake. Oh, Fox, he won't miss. He'll play on. And he's banged it straight through the uprights. The exact response, and gee, has he had a good game there, Ed. He's got a goal, plenty of the pill. He's been felt all across the ground. 3
goals this afternoon. They just keep persisting, the Swans, don't they? Giants got a little bit unlucky coming off half back, but they just kept coming. Wicks at ground level. It's outstanding crummer at 180 centimetres and 74 kegs. 3 goals today. Makes it 9 for the season.
We're talking about Fox's presence being felt across the ground. He's got 7 tackles, so he's genuinely being felt across the ground by all the players involved.
Team that with 28 or 29 touches as well, so clearly in the best back-to-back weeks there for Wicks. So the ball's pinged into the turf again. Amity won this one down. O'Riordan in the middle. Got a kick out wide. Slips catch not taken there by the Giants defender. Short one over the top. Sproul's just been thrown up to try and create something special as 2 Swans collide. Sproul diving, desperate again. Good tackle on
Fox again, on the biggest guy on the paddock.
Dawson Simpson driven into the turf.
Oh, Fox, he's having a day out, isn't he? Look back at this one as the ball.
6 tackles as well. We'll just throw him while we're rounding out Robbie Fox's stat sheet. Outstanding.
So the top, very nicely done. Trying to be swallowed down. There's Wicks staying on top. Ball's in hand to McKellar. That won't come out, but the Swans will be okay with that. They'll look to slow things down here, you'd think, after wrestling back control with that Robbie Fox goal. Up we go. Amity trying to do some ruck work. O'Riordan gets onto it. Bit of a no air, fresh airy there, but swings back, he gets another go at it and puts a little tumbler in. Not up to his usual stance, but running onto this is Bell. Bell shoves a handball over the top. He's right in line with the sticks here. Over and over and over it goes. Wonderful from Jeremy Schumark. And they're beginning to run away with this one. Bit of cohesion forming for the Swans.
Really smart stuff there from Zach Foote, who did the crumbing, did the hard work. He saw a Swans player in the goal square and could have tried to be creative, handball over the top, just waited that extra second, and he saw Schumacher coming through the emergency today, who got a late call up and put it through pretty simply in the end.
Well, he did get on the score sheet. Always good when you get the late invite.
From the North Shore Bombers.
The mighty Bombers. Plenty of good cattle coming from that club.
So ball back in midfield. I don't think we've got time to run through your career there, Will, as the Swans, they'll clear it again out of midfield. Giants' defence under pressure. They've stood up today as it came backwards. Overrunning it on this occasion was Mudge. The Swans with numbers out the back. String of handballs was good. Inside 50, Yulton. And it's cut off by Isaac Cumming. Been good without being impressive across half back today. Short kick. That was impressive, but Mark was spilled. Did well Beaumont to regain it. Shipley the man. Gives it to his running teammate. Has a look further afield. Just wants a target. Good use of the body. And outstanding mark there, Riley Stoddart.
He doesn't look like an imposing guy, but he just seems to win those contests over and over, as does Kilpatrick. And he's been a good use of the ball today, hasn't he? Bobs up and down. So he sends it laterally by way of Paul. It's sent forward further, continuing down, charging through that boundary line. Bit of a lead being formed by Bell. Will he be used? No, it'll be put forward. Not quite onto a platter. Wicks, here he is, gives a little offload as it's sent back towards the goal square. It's a 2-on-1 and Matthew Flynn will pick that off very comfortably. The big man unopposed before chipping it off to Scott Brown. So Brown, look, game you could say is still on the balance, but wow, you'd want to move quick.
Late inclusion today, Brown. He probably a bit tired because he was playing in the NAB Challenge game prior to this. The Giants went down in a thriller to Gippsland Power for those playing along at home. As O'Riordan short to Darcy Cameron.
Cameron will have quite a roast on him. You think he'd give it a go from here?
He's kicked 2 goals in his 2 outings this season at NEAFL level. He'll just take a bit of time off the clock and line them up, the big man. Originally from Claremont in WA. As Cameron comes in. Real slow, deliberate approach. Missed one from directly in front in the second quarter. This one, drop punt on the way. Beautiful strike, falls just short. Rush through for a behind. 10 goals, 17. 6 goals, 10. Swans leading.
Beginning to look quite an imposing lead there forming by the Swans, but the Giants are still going by way of Flynn over to Bonner. Bonner puts it back over the top to Flynn, who puts a little chip kick in, and they're sending it fine wide boundary side. And geez, look at the run there from Iden as he gathers that. He can have a bounce. Instead, he'll have a look up and send it. Getting inside 50. No one quite there for him. Well, no, except for Stewart. Good tackle over the top there, but it's going to roll over for the boundary. So, mild chance there, but not a lot doing, unfortunately, for the Giants. But they continue pressing on.
I'll have a chance here, the Giants, just to set up. Sproul's all alone before eventually being marked by his glove in Barkley. So ball tossed in. Giants in attack. Simpson did well. Ball comes to ground. Well tackled there. And it will be tossed up. Sam Wicks in amongst it again. Tossed up underneath the scoreboard. Ball bobbling around. Bell picked it off. Got a handball out to Cameron. Did the do-si-do 1-2, but turned it over. Cumming. Kick to the hot spot. Top of the square. Stoddard there. Good use of the body. Giants player kicked it off the ground. That is a beautiful goal there to Briggs. That is an outstanding bit of play there from the Giants.
That is creative,
it was
isn't
Addison who kicked it off the ground and just chipped it up to the running Briggs, and he's kicked a goal to just breathe a little bit of life into this Giants side after it was looking maybe it would have been a bit too hard, but it is back to a 25-point ball game. Still need 5 goals, but a bit of a spark maybe.
Stranger things have happened at this ground, Ed. Stranger things indeed. So we'll see if they can continue this fight. 5 goals. Could be out of reach, but effective ruck work could certainly get them on their way. But
if they can be creative like that, well, they'll be okay.
Well, I think they're going to have to turn to Lockie Keefe for some creativity. He's been the most creative man out there.
Played a bit of time up forward for Collingwood when he was there, from memory, when he was starting out, before being swung into defence, and that's where he really locked his position down before he's banned from the game. As the Giants try and work this out of the middle, but Bell was there, used his body well, inside 50, Keefe, there he is, running, leading the way to it. Bonner there too, looked for Keefe, couldn't quite. Swans pressure good up forward, ball at ground level, coming there too, came out the back. Giants chipping, and Cameron standing all alone. You won't take an easier mark than that. And he'll be lining up probably about 40 out, pretty much directly in front. Bit easier than the set shot he had moments ago from the right-hand forward pocket.
You seem to be struggling a bit to remember about Keefe, but you're a die-hard Collingwood fan. You're playing coy there, Ed. I think you know all the ins and outs of his career.
I love Lockie Keefe. Pretty sure he's on a Brisbane Raw list for a while as well before making the trek down to Victoria. So here comes Darcy Cameron. Deliberate approach. He'll want a major after missing 2 set shots today. Drop punt on the ways. This one, there it is. That's a beautiful strike, Darcy Cameron.
As soon as it left his boot, he had that fist up. He was excited. Knew that was going in.
And we're back out to a 31-point ball game.
Very good mental maths.
It was. It was very slow.
Yeah, it came eventually. Your Year 3 maths teacher will be very proud.
If they kicked accurately, it wouldn't be a problem because there's your 6 times table. But the 17 behind, if they get one more, it's a bit easier.
So from here, I suppose, you're playing for a bit of percentage, playing for a bit of pride.
Well, the Swans, they'll go to 4-0 after today. A percentage boost as well, taken to about 140-ish%, which is very good early days in the season. Giants, on the other hand, they'll go to 1-3. We'll have a look at the ladder a bit later on in the quarter as Shipley's there. Couldn't quite get clean possession of it. The Giants just come barging through. Ball spilled out to Kilpatrick. Eventually came back to O'Riordan. Set it on a string today. Bouncing ball. Smart use there. Very good there by foot, but Shipley was quick to run him down. Holding the footy.
Shipley's worked hard, hasn't he? He hasn't stopped. And that's a big credit to the Giants. They still, at this point, have not stopped. Shows a lot about their resilience. O'Halloran, speaking of resilience, he's popped back up in this quarter after a very impressive first. Xavier O'Halloran slams it onto the right boot. Sitting up nicely, but it's going to be a 2-on-1. And she's giving the ear massage for O'Riordan. He loses the free. Matt Flynn sells a bit of candy, then puts it up into the forward 50. It's going to be an uncontested mark for the Swans, but it's not marked. It's not taken down. So charging through there was Hill. And he's been brought to ground. It's a free kick going the other way. So really frantic stuff here. Skills a little bit lacking. A little drop of the chest pass, but you never get too critical. Swans aim to make their way out. Lovely kick to McInerney. Good fun name to say. McInerney sends it further down. Who's under it? Cops a bump. Can it be turned over? Giants here lurking. Bell. Let's watch him move as Ed sees a good runner and he puts it forward nicely onto the path of Yulton. Yulton's got another option directly in front of him, which he does choose to take. Good option. And down the far side, will he go for goal? No, he'll pull it up right in front to the leading Johnny Paul.
Bookmarks Paul, who kicked one in the first quarter for the Swans, got their ball rolling, and this one would be certainly the icer and the one to finish off today, Johnny Paul.
Kicked well last week.
10 touches, a goal, couple of tackles. Take that.
Happy with an outing with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So Paul starts his run. John Paul. Straight through the uprights.
Very good kick.
Wonderful goal. He's a great strike of the football. That's gone through. It's just extending their lead.
So next 3 weeks for the Swans, they've got the Brisbane Lions, who had a big win today over the Suns, and then Sydney Uni before a bye. The Giants They'll be 1-3 after today. They've got Canberra the bye and then the reigning premier Southport. So no easy game in the NEAFL this year. Hard run. And the Swans, well, they'll be surging towards the top of the ladder as they've owned for the past half dozen seasons.
It's a very even competition. I mean, even today's results and the other matches are a testimony to that. Few upsets.
We'll run through them next stoppage, I think, Will, and we'll have a look what it means all for the ladder at this late stage, or this early stage of the season, rather. So, umpire Joey O'Brien gets it back after, I think it'd be his first wayward bounce of the day. Very good bouncer, Joey, as the Swans again look to clear it out of the middle. Bit of a slippery footy there. The light's starting to take effect. Darcy Cameron there, but it was a bit of a throw. And the Giants will have a chance through Ian Hill. Bobby, as they call him, down the club. That's the lead. Flynn, that was screaming Bobby. Bounced off Flynn's head. Crumbed it well, the big fella. His handball didn't stick. McInerney, good for the Swans. Sydney will work it out of defence. High, long kick, half forward. Amity, the target. He's had 20-plus touches today. Lockie Keefe, though, strong in defence. Flicked the handball off to the running Ian Hill. Cross half back, bouncing ball. He'll work the 1-2. And then a chip kick across the ground is good. And the Giants will just slow things down. Here's Maxi Beaumont. Bouncing ball, bit of a shove out. Giants with numbers at the fall of it. Short one to Bonner. Bonner worked the 1-2. Good work there coming. Weaves, fell over, wanted to go back to Bonner, eventually gets it back. Found Simpson. Simpson, handball out wide was good. Took a while to get there, but it will work inside 50. Brown there for the Swans. Pink also. Long kick out now, and Sydney will clear, and the foot race is on. Fresh legs off the bench. Iden did well for the Giants. The Swans will look to keep it in.
Forward, isn't it?
Did well there, Yulton. Outstanding stuff. On the right boot to half forward. Good kick there, Zach Yulton. And this is Tom Baxter in possession.
So Baxter sends it towards the top. There's a lurking Amity there. Punched away by Keith. No problem to the other big man in Dawson. Dawson Simpson, that is. Over the top. Can he work something through as he puts it on the right boot into the path? Can he work? He's got a little bit of trouble here, but that's done very, very well. Moving through is Beaumont, but the ball's been turned over. Kilpatrick now looking for Bell, who gets a bump, but he wheels and gets himself out of trouble. Continuing their charge through Baxter. He turns onto the right and hits him. Lace out Joel Amity. Hey. You won't take easier marks than that, will you? You're standing still. You didn't hardly even have to put your arms out. It was just going to land into them.
He's had a really good day today, Joel Amity. He's kicked the 2 goals and just lost him on the stats sheet as that refreshed. 2 goals, 4 touches, a couple of dozen hit-outs. Real versatile player.
He'll start his run. Make his way in to get this lead out to 95 points. His kick's on its way, but that looks like it's gone out to the right.
So it is just a 38-point lead. To 90 points the Swans go.
There's the round number you're after, Ed.
Makes it nice and easy.
18 behinds. You wonder what the story could have been had they...
Have a history of inaccurate kicking in the NEAFL, the Swans, the past couple of seasons. Of course, it cost them a grand final 2 years ago against the Lions at the SCG. As that one's a push in the back to Darcy Cameron. And he'll get a free kick and he'll look long. Amity in the goal square with Lockie Keefe. That's the direction I'd be going with it. Just the big one-on-one. Loads up, goes long now to the hot spot. Won't quite get the carry there. As it's fisted away, Bonner will just fist it in front of himself. Did well, worked well with Brown, worked the 1-2, did Bonner. He wanted to get some skin on skin and a bit of bump, and he eventually was tackled. And it was some real good work there by Belbasis. Also plays for Sydney Uni. Late inclusion today for the Swans as the kick comes out to Robbie Fox. Again in the best today. Kicked a couple of real good goals as well, Robbie Fox. Taking a couple of nice marks. Goes short.
Laid a few tackles as well. Don't forget about that. All across the park as we go by McKellar. He sends it on to Barkley, who has done such a good job. Pink, such a good job on Sproul. He sends it. Amity lurking. Can he get another one? Yeah, no, it's spilt out. trying to attack, turns around, wheels, snaps. Will he get the bounce? He has not gotten the bounce. Gee, that would have been another one for Olsen. Would have been excited for that one, but unfortunately not today. So the ball's now with Iden. They look to kick out. 24 minutes gone in this quarter. Not too many stoppages. Goes away, Matt Flynn's there, as is Darcy Cameron. Doesn't quite take the mark. Nearly a dangerous kick. Spills out. Can they make it work here? Bonner still fighting so hard as he's done all day. Kicked forward by O'Riordan and then played forward. There's Callum Brown onto Langdon. A couple of experienced hands. That's a really wonderfully set up kick, but Riley Stoddard, as you always see him do, with that frame just somehow getting there, getting in the way, making it tough for the Giants to get anything going.
Darcy Cameron just got up a little bit ginger from that last stoppage at half forward for the Swans. Got up and ran okay, but I think he'll go to the bench and just rest up for the rest of this one with the cue in the rack as it's tossed in. Giants in attack. Geez, well done Langdon. Just bobbed it up to himself. Eventually dished a handball out into space. Brown there. That was creative as you'd expect. Came to Cumming. He's got wheels on him, but he's caught. Had to go back. Swans defence, Manic, very, very good. Ball bouncing around. That's Buckley. Can't quite get a clean kick out. Could Beaumont this time. Still there, the Swans, though. Outstanding. Came out wide. Footy on the wing. The Swans just now wait for their forwards to run back.
Schumacher ball in hand. What can he make of it? Pulls it onto his right boot top. Just outside the square, and it's just landed straight into the lap. Who have we got there? Waiting to see the number.
Bit of last man standing work there by Johnny Paw.
Just had to be there. Well, we've seen him kick harder ones than this today. You think it'd be a straightforward one, but they can be the ones you overthink as well. So as he starts his run in, John Paul, not to be confused with Sean Paul, sends one forward off the right boot. And that's gone straight through the uprights. He's happy with that. Johnny Paul, well, that's his third for the day. So he's joined on 3 goals. No, he's leading with 3 goals.
Sam Wicks also with 3.
Sam Wicks has got 3.
No, sorry, Robbie Fox with 3.
There you go.
Wicks with 2. Amity also with 2. Briggs and Langdon 2 each for the Giants. Sproul as well. Pretty good day out there for Paul. He's had 11 touches. Been outstanding. So a couple of those other results that I mentioned before from today. This is the last game of round 4 in the NEAFL. Brisbane defeating the Suns 159 to Gold Coast 62. Canberra beating Uni by 5 points in a thriller at Henson Park. And the NT Thunder getting the chocolates over Redland, Aspley and Southport with the bye this round as the Swans go forward again. Good handball came out to Schumacher, top of the goal square. Couldn't quite hit his target. Lockie Keefe did well to fox it out of play, and it will be tossed in.
The run carry from O'Riordan straight through the middle, though. He's just electric. He keeps his energy up all match, never fades. Strong in the contact. He's a really helpful player, and that's why you see him bobbing up into the AFL list, trying to retain that spot. Ball comes in, chance for the Swans to attack again. Tapped down by Simpson. Can't be gathered. There's a bit of pressure coming from Fox, who's just been a menace out there in the middle all day. Bell, head over the ball. Can it be picked up? It is. Looks like Fox chips it out by one. Bell basis. He's going to hold and see if he can set up teammates. But decides to go laterally to Ling. Matthew Ling turns around, wheels onto his left. And he's just put it perfectly out in front. Tough kick. And you got to kick over Big Keefe. But let's see what he can make of this. Man over the far side, away from the broadcast side of the goal of the field. So he brings it in. Callum Brown's coming off for a rest. There's the siren. He's wheeled. Does that mean he's played on? Doesn't count regardless? Well, it's not going to affect the score sheet, is it?
No, it's not. By the looks of things, just played on at the wrong time there, but the Swans go 4-0. Big win here at Blacktown today. 13-19-97 to the Giants 7-10-52. 45-point win for the Swans. Outstanding effort today. A real arm wrestle of a match. Scoreboard probably doesn't quite reflect the Giants' effort today. Just a bit unlucky and perhaps a bit one-dimensional in the forward 50 with Zach Sproul. Just the 2 goals after looking dynamic in that first quarter when he booted both of them and was well held by Rory Barclay after that. As I mentioned, next 3 games for both of these clubs. We've got Canberra at the bye and Southport for the Giants. The Swans, Brisbane, Sydney Uni and the bye. Will Jackson, how'd you find that one today?
Well, look, it was a cracking match. It got to the end of the quarter, and once the Swans got out to that certain lead, I think the Giants dropped their head a bit. But you can't deny the effort of either side. Swans' defence was just incredible, and their go-forward wasn't too bad either. So, really good match to watch, but I think both sides will go back and look to improve on some certain key areas, Ed.
Couldn't agree more with that one. Been a pleasure bringing it to you on NEAFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partners at Bar TV this afternoon. Match write-up will be all up on neafl.com. Some good articles during the week up there as well, so make sure you check them out. I'm Eddie Summerfield. Will Jackson, thanks so much for your time again, and we'll see you at the footy next week.
Looking forward to it, Ed. See you then.
Swans 45-point winners here at Blacktown.